Are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Stack Your
Hey.
Lives. As always, I'm Matt from, well, you know where I'm from, here and my channel and that kooky little Star Trek podcast that's coming back on Monday.
Yes.
By RJ. RJ, how are you today?
I am very good, Matt. I am, full disclosure, I am a very massive Packers fan, and the Packers are playing on Thursday Night Football right now, which means above my far screen is the Green Bay Packers. So if I say throw the ball, damn it, about 17 times tonight, it is not related to credit cards and that Jamie Dimon needs to throw the ball being the freedom cards into the trash, but in fact about football.
I like how you tried to tie that in at the end. I appreciate the effort.
I thought that tying Chase and the freedom cards would be a personal shout out to you, Matt, because at least Kid is a North rival with me. So I wanted to tie it back into something that you also hate.
That's inclusion, buddy.
I tried.
I appreciate it. Throw the ball is the NFL equivalent of NHL fans slamming on the glass during a power play going, shoot!
Sometimes they forget to throw the ball, and I must tell them that.
They hear you, genuinely. They have a spiritual connection.
Yep.
We do.
So we'll see how it goes. Craig, you are showing vertical, just if you wanted to fix it. I don't. I'm fine either way. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Hey. Jason Smith joining us. Jason, how's it going?
The ladder man.
The ladder man. So yes, we're going up against Thursday Night Football on Amazon. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm fine with it. You guys know what picture in picture is, right? As long as we're the audio and I don't care what you're doing.
Honestly, we don't even have to be the audio. Just play us for the hits, man. Like I'm okay with that too. Like I would prefer you listen to us, but also just play us. It's fine.
It's fair. Yeah. So it's been Craig. Sorry, Craig. How are you today?
I am doing well. I'm trying to have non-technical issues, but Apple has decided not to work with me. So we are doing a little switcheroo here, and I will magically reappear on your screens in just a moment. Also, I'm now a soccer coach because parents are terrible.
This is for like 2 and 3 year olds, I think, which is even better.
Yeah.
Can you kick his other side out, Matt? There we go.
Too late. Already did it.
Boom. That's nice. Back.
Now let's hope that we don't run into RAM issues.
I'm more concerned about the audio issues because I don't think your your headphones are connected. You handle that. Matt and I will talk.
There we go. Echo. Yes. We're working on it. So RJ, the pressing question of the day is how much money did you end up spending on Tuesday?
So here's the thing, right? As somebody who has a lot of tech, I'm pulling up my credit card statement so I can give you the full answer, which is why I'm multitasking at the moment.
You gave me the exact answer in the mini pre-show we had.
I did. I want to make sure it is exactly the right answer. And it was, in fact. So the reason that I did not spend as much money as I planned to is because I have the Ultra 2, the Ultra 2 watch. Mm-hmm. There's nothing in the Ultra 3 that I want or need, right? Like if I had the one or if I had a non-Ultra, this is a great watch to upgrade to. I think for Apple, you don't need to upgrade every year. You need to upgrade every 2 to 4 years. So I am not in a watch upgrade year, especially for watches. I'm not in a watch upgrade year. For the phones, I am 90% sure in 2026 there's going to be a folding phone. I am like 90% sure. Because I am 90% sure and I own my 16 Pro Max outright, I don't feel the need to upgrade to the 17 Pro Max and then pay that phone off to then upgrade to the folding phone. If it was a year where I did not think 2026 was going to have the folding phone, I would consider it. But at this point, it doesn't make sense for me to do that upgrade. So the only thing left was the AirPods. I live in AirPods. I live in these AirPods, which please give us another gen. And I live in the ones that go into your ear, like all day. I have them in transparency mode just when I'm at home, because usually like people will call me or I'll be listening to music while I'm cleaning the kitchen. And then if somebody needs my attention, I don't have to take them out. I can just have them in transparency mode, tap it on my watch, pause the music, go about my thing, put it back on. So for me, AirPods are super important. Anytime there's a new iteration, I buy it instantly. My current pair goes to my backup pair. My backup pair goes into either my backpack as my tertiary pair or goes to somebody else. So the AirPods were an instant buy, and I did get Apple Care with them because I buy Apple Care on everything. And I spent $266.43 on my Cash Plus card for 1% back, because I'm doing a sub and I want this sub to be over more than I can tell you, because I do not want to be actively working a sub. So I did that, and I don't have a super high limit on either of these cards, and my shopper cash was tapped out, and I'm trying not to credit cycle. So I don't want to just pay the entire thing down to put a bunch more money on it, because I don't want US Bank to have a trigger somewhere that I have to like send them whatever. Maybe they don't have triggers. Who knows what US Bank is doing, but I'm trying not to tick them off. So I didn't want to pay down my shopper cash to put it on there through Walmart. So I just bought it on my Cash Plus, because I'm also working a sub on that card as well. So I did that. I did not stack. I literally ordered it from my phone on my break from work. That is what I did. Could I have stacked? Yes. Did I particularly care at the moment? No, because I just wanted the foam tips. Like that was, my brain saw foam from the factory foam tip AirPods, and I went, yes. And I might order a second pair. So that is where my brain went. Now, if I order a second pair, I will stack, because the Apple event is not staring me in the face, but I didn't. For $266.43, I didn't care.
Now, with the foam tips, can you just buy the foam tips separate? Like for
So on the website, it looked like you could buy the foam tips. I don't know if they're compatible.
Okay. I probably should just ask my brother who works at Apple retail.
You could. I mean, you could. They're probably, I'm assuming, very cheap. Like you could always, even if they don't say they fit, you probably could just buy the foam tips. And it doesn't look like they have them like for sale specially, but I'm sure if you went in to the store and was like, hey, I need a second pair of foam tips, like they'll either give or sell. Like they've done that. They do sell the non-foam tips. Like you can just buy those now. I'm assuming they don't actually launch till the 19th. I would anticipate on the 20th or shortly thereafter, you can just buy the foam tips.
Yeah, makes sense. Clinton, to answer your question, yes, a 5.5 mile walk does count as a gym equivalent.
100%. So is my audio any better?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no echoing.
We will be getting you a mic at some point, and by we, I mean we'll send you links and be like, here.
We just ordered a mic because I want to start recording videos, but hi, I'm trying to get on YouTube. But that is 2 days away, Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, we know he's a little crunchy. We are aware. But these are AirPods. I'm assuming you're on AirPods right now. Yeah. AirPods are always going to be crunchy. Like I have a mic in front of me, guys. My sound is not coming from these. There has been one episode of one podcast where the sound was coming from these, and I nearly killed the episode in shame.
More lost episodes, more lost time. Jay chimed in that his Series 8 is still holding strong, only using it for step tracking and sleep. Doesn't take an Ultra to do that. Yep. I didn't see anything with Series 11 that made me want to like jump off of Series 10. So I totally get it.
I also do this. So this is my primary watch, which is a mechanical Manta Ocean King 3. I love this watch. This is on my left wrist, which is where you normally wear your watch if you're right-handed. This is how I control HomeKit and like timers and things that I need to do very quickly. This is on my right wrist. When I leave the house, this comes off. So for me, upgrading watches, there has to be a major thing to upgrade the watch because it is not my daily driver of a watch. If I'm going to pay multiple hundreds of dollars, it needs to be a watch that gives me value when I am at my house.
That makes sense. Back at the iPhone 17 looks so ugly. In my opinion, it's like they went backwards in terms of bulky phone look. Yeah, I think this was a... it's not a whole new iPhone. I think it's just they are trying to do something new with cameras, and they wanted to keep this body design because they keep the same body design for a number of years, and going to unibody with this design was the big thing. So I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing next year.
So here's the thing. There are two major things that happened in this event. And I am excited to get Lonnie's take of this on Monday as somebody who has done a lot more tech work. But here is my take. There are two things they did in this year's cycle. They have very thin phones, which is the 17 Air, and they have a unibody design, which is the Pro and Pro Max. Those are two things you need to do to make a folding phone. I think
they are.
I think that these two were test beds to, can we make a super thin phone? Because to make a folding phone, you have to have two thin halves. And can we do unibody design, which is also a part of a folding phone? So for me, my brain went, oh, they're definitely making a folding phone either next year or the year after, because these are the two components you need to be able to lock in. And having these at scale is going to matter. Also, the Packers just scored a touchdown.
There's a third thing that you need, and that's the glass.
Yes, and they also did like a ceramic nano coating thing that they were touting on everything this year, which could, in theory. But, I mean, the hinge is also important. These are things that we'll see. But Apple makes the keyboard hinge for the iPad keyboard, so they do make some hinges. I'm just saying. It'll be interesting. I'm very, very interested to see where the keynote. The one thing they did not talk about, Matt, they did not talk about the Apple Card. Did not mention the Apple Card. Didn't talk about the. I'm bringing us back your credit cards for a minute, guys. We'll talk about more stuff in a minute. Did not talk about the Apple Card. I was fully expecting them to talk about the Apple Card.
So if there was any place that they were going to talk about the Apple Card at any point, I'm just catching up on comments here.
Ask me on the 20th, QC Man, because I don't know if they're better until I put them in my ears.
Yeah. If there was one thing that they were going to, if there was one place they were going to mention Apple Card, it would have been part of the iPhone portion of the program. Right. Now, I know that like services aren't really a thing that really plays into this particular event. And the way that they've been scripting these events, and they are just like full scripted videos, and you know, we watch a live premiere. It always seems that like if there's something with services, if it's not brought up at WWDC, like you would expect that unless it has, if it's a service that ties directly to iPhone, it would be brought up at the iPhone event. Right. I don't know what the whole, I have a theory of what the holdup is. And my theory presupposes that Apple is fighting for leverage right now. And the only leverage that Apple remains in Apple's possession is the fact that their contracts aren't expired. Like their contracts aren't ending in 2025. Their contracts aren't ending in 2026. The contracts that they have with MasterCard and with Goldman Sachs, MasterCard, I think, is 2027 or 2028. Goldman is 2029 or 2030.
Right.
And if they, if they're not getting the deal that they want from Chase, which is probably getting 95% of what they have from Goldman, like they'll give up the HISA to come to Chase, but they still want the very allowable underwriting that Goldman currently has with folks that, you know, may or may not deserve to have credit. They are looking to, you know, have no fees whatsoever associated with the card. And if Chase can't, like, there's interest, sure, but if Chase can't charge a late fee, or Chase can't put an annual fee on it, or Chase can't do anything like that, Chase probably isn't signing up for the card. So they are probably in advanced talks, and like maybe they've agreed on 85% of things. But Apple, as Apple is wont to do, wants 95 or 100% of what Apple wants. And they're going to walk away from a deal if they get 95.5, unless they get 95.5. If the deal is 90-10, Apple doesn't want a part of it.
And the thing is, like, Apple is not an easy company to work with.
No.
They are they're Amex, but like more, right? Like they're a huge company. They're one of the biggest companies in the world. And they don't have an impetus to change right now. People want the Apple Card because it's going to bring in a ton of customers. One of the places that it might be a sticking point that we haven't talked about is privacy, because Apple does not give Goldman the same amount of data that most other credit cards give, from my understanding. They give them the information they have to, but they don't give it in the same way that it usually is given.
So if we're talking like L1 data versus L3 data, like a lot of issuers are going to start pushing for L3 data,
right?
With their credit card products, and they want to work in association with MasterCard or Visa. Visa is going to be more likely to be pushing L3 than MasterCard because reasons. That's why Visa is so much bigger than MasterCard. Part of it is, you know, Visa is so much bigger than MasterCard, and L3 is their next sort of growth factor in terms of like, hey, we will give you all of the data that you could possibly want. So I could certainly see that being a concern for Apple, but like Apple, it's the only way that Apple does points is, was it at this retailer? No. Was it an Apple Card? Was it done with Apple Pay? Yes, 2%. Was it done with Apple Pay and it's not one of those partners? No, 1%. So they are approaching this the way that they're approaching their technology stuff, their hardware, their software, their stack, how they approach things. And, you know, having a vertically integrated credit card as part of your tech stack is cool, very cool. But like finance is not hardware or software. And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
And they're going to continue to push. And really, if Apple wants Apple Card to work the way that Apple wants Apple Card to work, Apple needs to get into being a bank.
I don't think so. Here's the problem. Banking is not what Apple wants to spend their already stretched legal department on right now. They're dealing with the EU, they're dealing with Asia, they're dealing with South America primarily. They are dealing with a federal case, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think they want to deal with banking regulation on top of being Apple. I also think that some of this is just they have time. So why take a bad deal now instead of waiting a year and a half to take a better deal?
Well, the question is there going to be a better deal?
I think Apple always assumes that they will have a better deal.
Apple always assumes that they will have a better deal, yes, but that's because Apple is always working in the back end towards something to leverage out. Tech-wise, they have something in the background that they are working on. Like they gave Intel an ultimatum. While they gave Intel an ultimatum, they were starting very quickly to start building they had the A series already running. They were building the M series chips when they told Intel, fix your shit or we're gone.
It also may be that they're waiting for some other deal to expire for whatever bank to bring them on.
But if they're going on with Chase, like, the Disney card isn't going to prevent Chase from adding the Apple card.
I'm presupposing Chase might not be where they land, though. Like, if we put any bank on the board. Because here's the thing. If you're Apple, right? And I'm going to use Amex and Chase just because they're easy, right? Mm-hmm. Say Amex has a deal, and I don't know when they're coming off. Amex has a deal that ends in the end of 26. It frees up a bunch of money from their books, right? They'll have more money for partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm throwing numbers out there. These are more just examples.
They are losing those, so this could work.
Right. So they're going to do the Apple card. It's not going to be MR earning. It's going to be cash back. It will allow them to do X, Y, or Z, right? Amex knows this. They're fine with Apple playing with Chase because they don't think Chase is going to give them the deal that they're going to give them. It lets them, if Apple walks, oh well. If Apple doesn't walk, then they get this giant marquee partner. Like, there is the possibility that is going on, that the partner that Apple wants just isn't open yet, so they're playing with others. I mean, look, Apple is big enough if they want to just buy a fintech. If they want to buy SoFi tomorrow, Tim Apple could do it with his pocket change.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that they just haven't bought a bank. Like, Apple is so...
They're massive. Also, Craig, you can come back. I promise. It's okay. You don't have to wait.
Yeah. Apple is so
long-winded.
Sorry.
Have you met us? We did a 3-hour podcast last week.
We sure did. No, Apple to me is a very arrogant company with the way with their operations. And if they're waiting for a better deal, a more sweetheart deal, like, they could have their eyes set on Amex. Sure. They could have their eyes set on Wells Fargo for whatever reason. They're just waiting for Wells Fargo to wrap up the Built deal, which I think that's what Wells Fargo is just waiting for, like, just getting Built off its books completely before it starts.
They also don't have to do it right now.
Yeah.
Like, they have multiple years. So I think it'll be interesting. I wish all credit cards could use the Apple feature. That would be fantastic to just have that little slider that shows things and the way they categorize things. I wish all of my cards could do that. They have the data because I get the little notification every time I use one of my cards. So that would be great.
Yep.
How often do you guys upgrade your phone? Because I do every year or every other year, depending on what's going on.
Whenever I want.
Depends on if I feel it's slowing down. I do a lot of mobile gaming, so sometimes I can get 3 years out of it. I for this most recent upgrade, I had the 13, I think, and then before that, I had the 10, the XR 10R.
So I am the person who buys the new Apple devices, and then they get filtered down to my family. So sometimes it's just somebody needs an upgrade, which means that I get the new bright shiny thing. They get my very well taken care of, very well loved device, and then I get the new one. So sometimes it's not I want an upgrade. Sometimes it's somebody else wants an upgrade. So I upgrade and they get the very well taken care of device.
Yeah.
In fairness, I'm the same way. Also, audio any better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm the same way. So I think I spent more money than RJ this week, but not on new Apple products, on things that have already been out. So yay. But I just haven't been impressed with Apple the last few years.
I think Apple is just going to you don't need to upgrade every year. You can upgrade every 2, 3, or 4 years. And honestly, that's healthier. Like, trying to put a giant marquee feature every year, I think you want to give people reasons to upgrade. I don't think they need to push the upgrade every year anymore. Like, I'm thinking of going to a generation newer MacBook Air when the new ones come out because I want the 15-inch screen. And I don't want to get a 15-inch screen now because I can't technically trade in my MacBook Air because it's current gen and that gets finicky. And no, guys, I don't sell it elsewhere. I don't have time, energy, or effort for that. So
That's shipping and it's a whole other thing.
I don't want to deal with it. So yeah, it's one of those things where if I can trade it in, I will. I can't trade my computer in right now, so I will wait. There is no way they're going to make it UR points unless that's a sticking point. Maybe it is.
It could be. Apple should spin off their card and focus on their core, sell off the card, keep a stake in the company, and some control, solve some political problems too.
Services revenue. Tim Cook's job is to make services revenue a bigger number every year. That is what the shareholders want. That is what the board wants. That is his marching orders. Keep us out of litigation or get us out of the litigation we're in and make services revenue bigger. Those are his two marching orders right now.
I mean, every time they re-up the deal with Google, they get to jump services revenue. And I'm surprised that they went with OpenAI and they could have gone with Gemini, and Google didn't insist on Gemini being part of the last deal that they did. But those two are always on thin ice when they handle things together.
Matt, do we know that the Google Chrome team knows that Google Gemini is a service?
Yes, and after the most recent litigation concerning Google and Chrome, that is settled. Like, they're going to start running. They're going to start ramming Gemini down our throats.
Hi, Lonnie. We're talking about tech. Welcome to the Stack Your Tech podcast.
There you go.
Greetings, good friend.
Paul mentions the reason they haven't bought it is because they don't want to be a bank at this time. Yeah, they don't want to be a bank, but like, it would solve a lot of their problems.
It would create a dozen new ones.
Yes, but they have the money to buy their way out of all those problems.
For the next potentially 3 years.
Sometimes the headache isn't worth the money.
Yeah. Hi, Chad.
Yeah, Chad.
I hope they do. I hope Tim Apple's mother calls him Tim Apple just once. Just once. I want Tim Cook's mother to call him Tim Apple. That phone, I don't think that phone gets updates anymore. Keep like security patches. That might be a thing you need to look into. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yep. The tech combo I'm missing. There we go. I just rocked my Google Pixel, got a free upgrade, but it actually led me to paying $5 a month for 3 years. Always look over what you agree to, before signing. Yep.
Okay, it does still, but it won't. I think next year. Yeah, Keith, you might be forced into it, buddy.
No worries. AirPod Pros 3 are the same price at Costco, and you get a free Apple Care Plus. Ooh, there you go.
I do have Costco. Yeah. If I get another, guys, at an Apple event, I don't care about point stacking. I just want to buy now and not think. Let me chase my dopamine hit, please. At least I worked a sub while I did it. At least I was that cognizant.
We're proud of you for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Honestly, I was really hoping for some AirPods Max 3 or 2 at least.
2.
That would have been great.
They haven't even come out with the 2. They just put USB-C on them.
Yeah.
They haven't perfected it yet.
It's been what, 4 years now?
Pixel 10 arrives and pre-ordering. I can't wait to. Lonnie, are you getting the Pro or the Pro Max? Inquiring minds want to know.
I think he's getting the Pro. I don't remember. And the iPhone 6 is no longer supported. Hasn't been supported in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will the Chasing 90K bonus be last until mid-October? I don't have the spend yet. They're usually 3 to 4 weeks at a time. So you may want to jump on it. But if you don't have the spend, you don't have the spend. I'm not going to tell you to spend money you don't have. So,
Yeah.
although
long
remember,
game, don't get interest.
they are 0% purchase cards for the first 12 months.
But again, don't spend $4,000 or $5,000 if you don't have it just because you have 0% interest. That is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he buys all his equipment through the 50% bonus. Yep. Good use of points. My bad. I thought you were at Pixel 6. Oh, there you go.
Double. I will tell you, the Flighty app is my favorite app that I don't use regularly.
Yep.
That is the only time I will wear my Apple Watch anymore, because I'll just wear both of them when I'm flying, because I'm that person. I wear the Apple Watch when I fly so I can get the Flighty updates in the airport. Like I will look like an idiot to have instant Flighty notifications when I travel. Now,
It's so much faster than the carriers.
I could take my mechanical watch off and just wear the Apple Watch.
You could.
But it's pretty and it makes me happy. So I wear them both. I have 2 wrists. Why not wear 2 watches? I will change the face so it's literally just the app icon for Flighty. Like, I don't need the time on this one. I have the time on this one. So I can just have this literally be a Flighty app when I travel. Double. It's a good phone. If you like your phone, you don't have to change. But the Flighty app is legitimately one of the best apps. Lonnie might be able to suggest an Android alternative. I don't know what they have because I don't have any Android devices.
It's on Android as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, double. Just get it on Android, man.
I thought the Flighty app wasn't good on Android.
Oh, I don't know if it's good or not, but I know it's there.
Yeah. Kirby, I just got the CIC 25-ish days ago for a 2-tier offer for the 75K for 6K in 6 months. Call Chase, and they will give me 90K for 6K in 6 months. But I'm waiting to confirm. They're going to give you the 6 months to spend the 6K for the 90K offer, because the whole point of the 6-month offer with the 75K is the 2-tiered nature of it. I would assume that they would have you, they would just, like, if they're going to switch you, allow you to switch, that they would have you do the 90K, the 6K in 3 months. Because the other part of that would be the 10% Chase checking business relationship part of the welcome offer. And I don't think that they would extend that to the 90K portion of things.
There is no Flighty on Android.
Oh.
I just went to their website.
You'd have the better offer, but still have 6 months. Make sure it's in writing.
Yeah, make sure it's in writing. I had to, when I got my my CSP, I fought for 3-4 months to get them to honor what they told me in writing. They told me in writing, and it took months. Yeah, no, double. It's not on. No, if you travel a lot and Flighty is an app that you will use a lot, like, I'm not saying have 2 phones or switch to iPhone just for that, but it sure is a nice app.
There you go.
It'll let you know that you're delay hours before a delay. Trust me, it is worth it.
You could, in theory, get an older iPhone, have it Wi-Fi only, and just connect to the airport's Wi-Fi and just run Flighty that way. If Flighty is all you care about and you have like an iPhone 12 that you can scrounge up, because you can't use it while you're flying. Like, I mean, unless you're paying for the Wi-Fi on the plane, but again, it's Wi-Fi. It's not satellite. So you can do it that way if you don't actually want an iPhone. There are ways around it.
Chad lives and breathes by Flighty, so yep.
Yeah, Flighty is great.
Chad and Kiki are actually the ones that put me onto it. I think that was like 2 years ago now.
You can also, I want to say you can get, Lifetime is $2.99 right now. So you can just buy Lifetime. I love when an app has lifetime and it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Like Flighty is one of those apps that makes sense. You can also get gift cards for Flighty, which I think is adorable.
That's silly.
I mean, man, come on now. And I love their little passport. Like they give you a little passport in the app that like shows you're flying and stuff. It's great. Want to guess what airplane I'm on the most, guys?
Is it a CRJ
It
900?
is a CRJ.
Yep. Vincent asking why you think Lifetime Flighty is worth it.
Because it's an app that I'm going to use and I'm going to support a smaller app creator if I can.
100%.
Like,
Also, it's a
here's the
great
thing.
interface.
It is a beautiful interface. It's a great app. Here's the thing, like good apps from independent companies like cost money to develop. I am fine paying for an app if it gives me value. And that value might be like just entertainment. That value might be it does a thing really well. That value might be a game that I like to play that I'll throw $20 in to get some extra lives so I can not be bored for a couple hours. Like I am fine paying for apps. The people that are, and I'm not saying this is you, Vincent, at all, but there are people who never want to pay for an app and just want it for free because they have the platform. Those people drive me crazy. Like just make me pay for it, make the amount reasonable. $300 for lifetime Flighty to me is reasonable, especially if you're a business traveler or you're traveling frequently. I travel enough where I pay for it yearly because if there is a year, if I say I break my leg and I'm not traveling for 6 months, right? Then maybe I don't need Flighty at that point. But if I'm, a business traveler, I'm traveling every month, then this is in my opinion, if you have access to it, is a must-have app.
I was just going to say, as a business traveler, if you take flights more than once a month or anything like that, it's truly fantastic. You'll get, before your flight even arrives into the airport, you'll understand and get notifications about, hey, there's a delay here, it's a mechanical issue, or there's a weather issue, or there's something else going on. It gives you a wonderful little map. So this is what my travel looks like for 2025. And you can just see everything that's been going on. I've lost 14 hours to delays, all that goodness. Can we boop? There we go. And
One,
and 175. Oh, let's see. Can we turn that down? Boom. But yeah,
one thing that I love for it is it will show, like if you put your flight number in, it shows you the flights leading up to your flight. So if you see like there's a 4-hour delay 2 flights ahead of you, okay, that's probably a problem. Like my flight's not delayed yet, but it could be. Like my birthday last year, I knew 12 hours before my flight that there was going to be a delay. Like, because they weren't changing planes out. I knew they weren't going to. So yeah, no, I love it. It's one of those apps that if you travel, I recommend. Also, it's really cool to you can put your flights in for the future. I just have a flight going to Hawaii right now, so it's like all East Coast, one flight to Seattle a couple of years ago, and then Hawaii, which is very amusing.
But yeah, so, and you saw what mine looked like for 2025. This is what the rest of the year looks like. It's just a back and forth a lot to Boston and Philly. Also, if you haven't already, check out Chad's replay of his live last night, 100 flights in 2025. I thought I was up there. I'm going to tap out at like 72. So beat me, but also great channel, friend of the pod.
Yes. And he did a walkthrough on his live last night, which is very cool. But yeah, no, Flighty is great. Like Flighty is one of those apps that you're just like, no, get this app. I promise you, just get this one. Just this is it's like when Tweetbot, like when Twitter was a thing we were all on, and like you had Tweetbot and you're just like, no, this is a really good app. Here you go. Like there was the competitors and there were other ones that were still very good, but this was the one.
Yeah, at least they're developing for Blue Sky now, so that makes me happy.
I can't do Blue Sky. I wish I could. I wish I could do Blue Sky. I wish like the ecosystem of which I was on Twitter is broken now, right? Like you can't recreate like 2015 to 2019 Twitter in 2025.
No, I'm Blue Sky kind of gets there, but not. It's not the same. I know.
The culture is like it's just everything is so scattered now.
Yep.
Like it's sort of like what 38 million people watch the end of MASH. Like there are not cultural moments like that anymore, except for like football games. I love that you're just completely covering Craig's face, Matt.
I'm not just highlighting comments.
I know.
Sorry.
I just find it funny that the really tall ones just completely cover Kid.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm here for this. My fellow Indiana brother.
Let's see. No, if I do it, no, I can't do the crop layout. We can.
It's
That's
fine, Matt. I'm just picking on you.
Matt, it's
Also, Vincent drop a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Vincent. Apple gift cards are handy for funding super chats. Yes, they are. We did have the other topic of the night come up from Double Double. Have the Hilton changes changed anyone's mind about Hilton program much? Never changed anyone's Hilton strategy. The Hilton changes, Craig, are they affecting you?
Absolutely. And they are affecting RJ too.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
No.
Like,
also,
should I care?
costs
Maybe.
more.
Do I care? No.
Should and yeah. I will say this. It has become exponentially more expensive to be a luxury Hilton traveler than it was before, and not just for spending to earn those nights, but also buying points. You are now limited to 360,000. Before you could go all the way up to 400. So like you can't really even buy 2 nights for I hope the Packers burn.
Josh Jacobs, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Oakland Raiders.
Oh, they're playing the Raiders. That's not a real matchup.
No, they're playing
Also, it's the Vegas
Washington, but
Raiders.
they got Josh Jacobs from the Raiders.
It's the Vegas Raiders. How dare you?
I know, but they will always be Oakland to me.
No, I know.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no. But so I've actually gone through and I've looked at like quite a few properties, and like not just super high end luxury properties, but also those mid tier DoubleTrees and like Curio properties that were 50 to 60,000 points are now clocking in at 70 to 90,000. And you can say, oh well, I'll just spend cash, and that's great, right? Like that's awesome. But also the price to get 200,000 points is a heck of a lot more to get 95,000 or 120,000. And some of these aren't even truly aspirational once in a lifetime trips. Cabo is not an expensive trip, right? Like flights down there and whatnot, but the hotels now are just outlandishly expensive. And we had a conversation about this earlier this week on the pod, but just about like having a culture of client first, and this is not a client first move. I'm going to say that Hilton Bonvoy does. Now, granted, Bonvoy is a verb. Bonvoy is a verb for a reason, but also like, it is a crime when I can say that, I'll take a Bonvoy point now for a Hilton point. I think for me, I'm going to burn down that like these last few 100,000 Hilton points, but I don't necessarily know if I'll be re-upping. I do think to a conversation we had earlier this week in the Discord about free night awards and certificates, it oddly gives more value to the certificates for luxury travelers or individuals that just don't have the points, right?
So let me rephrase. I will do a rare rephrasing. Keith, I would love to do Hyatt, but they're just not where I am. Like Hyatt is like saying that you're on Spark Mobile. Like I'm happy for you. I'm glad it works for you. It does not work for me. I'm just saying. So for me, I like Hilton because they're everywhere. That is one of the parts of Hilton I like. I like what I find usually 4 points for a standard king bed room I am fine with usually, right? Like, here's the difference between how Craig travels and how I travel. I am traveling with only me in the room. And I know you have work travel. I'm talking about personal travel, right? To make it more comparable. I travel with only me in the room. I don't have to think about a kid. I don't have to think about a spouse. I don't have to think about anybody but how I want to be in the room. That gives me more flexibility to go for the lowest possible points total. Because I am not Lonnie. I do not require a room inside a room except for a bathroom. So, like, that is a thing that allows me to have that flexibility. Will it eventually come for me? Yes. It absolutely will. For me right now, it's not something that is impacting me. I'm also sitting on 800,000 points because I had to cancel some vacations. So I have the ability that if I wanted to go somewhere right now, I'm basically not priced out of anything except for like executive level top end rooms, which makes me not think about it as hard. So as of right now, as of September of 2025, am I annoyed? No. Ask me again in September of 2026, and maybe I will be. I think this is one of those things that kind of has to hit you before it necessarily hits you. Like, until I feel the squeeze, I don't know if I'm going to have a personal problem with this. Do I think it's a crap move on Hilton's part? And like from a commentary perspective, do I care? Yes. From a personal RJ, what am I going to book perspective, do I care? No. And I do think that is a bit of a tension, right? Like, as somebody who looks at this stuff, do I like what Hilton is doing now? Do I think they're going to hit a wall where they're going to make another deval and then it's going to bite them in the butt and they're going to backtrack? Yes. Do I know when that's going to be? I do not. I also have IHG, which is helpful, right? Like, I do have that system. I'm staying in Hilton in October. I'm staying at a Indy in December. I'm staying at a Hilton I'm staying at an IHG in March, April. So and the Indy is in Hawaii, so that's a little bit different. They're more of a captive market. So for me, like, I look at Hilton, I look at IHG. I look at those two every time I book. It does not matter where I book, those both get pulled up. And then I will look at the Delta portal or the American Express portal. So for me, I'm not feeling it right now. So as a person, I don't care. As somebody who is annoyed at the squeeze we're all feeling, I do care. But I do think eventually Hilton's going to hit a bottom and then have to creep back up.
So I want to say I don't disagree with you, right? Like, I'll say this. I am at the point in my life now where, like, if I'm spending money with a place, it's because they treat me well. And I am not a high-end person. Similar to RJ, I have no desire to make Hyatt work for me. But one thing I have to give them credit for is, like, hey, we're at least going to give you a month's heads up to say we are devaluing the program. And Hyatt does devalue every single year, even if people want to say that they don't. They do. And I want to be, like, really fair in saying this doesn't hit the econo Hilton traveler much, right? Like, if you're staying at some DoubleTrees, or if you're doing Hilton Garden Inns, Hampton Inns, or Motto properties, even Graduate, not a huge deal, right? And, like, I looked at every property that I've stayed at in the last 3 years. On average, it's probably about a 12% bump for non-luxury properties. But those luxury Conrads, some of those Curios, and the Waldorf properties all saw like a 30% bump, right? Like, that is crazy. And just to be fair, that's after most of those get bumped up also, right? And so I realize that it's a niche population of folks that are Waldorf travelers. And also, it's not even just like people that are looking to book suites. I'm just talking about straight up like standard rooms. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. Needing to book a suite on points is a Spaceco problem. Similar to RJ, I love my son. I love him dearly. He's only on about half the trips that we take. Because we're going to Boston next week for a wedding to drive up to Vermont. He is not coming because that sounds like misery to me. right? Yeah, no, I don't want to do
Boston to
that.
Vermont is a lovely drive, by the way. Just so you're like,
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
regardless of how you go, it's going to be a lovely drive.
But yeah, like so in some cases that's not an issue for me, but like as somebody like, and again, Lonnie called me bougie this week. I have to lean into it this time to say we want to stay at every single Waldorf property in the Hilton portfolio, right? That becomes exponentially harder now for us to do, unless we're doing like what was his name, Sean from the what's it? I know it's the Credit Card BS podcast. There we go. I had to think about that one for a second. I'm not having 10 Hilton Aspires. That's just not going to happen. But also, like, I understand if those are the properties that you want to stay at. I can understand and say like, hey, I'm only staying at Hilton properties, but somehow he's a hotel free agent, which gives me pause to say, why do you have Hilton Aspires? We should have him on for a conversation. But I'll be honest, I'm not hurt because a company cannot hurt me. I am not disappointed in a company that I had no expectations in. But as a consumer, I do feel slightly disrespected that in the last 18 months, we've seen 3 devaluations of like pretty sizable notion at the top end. Because I did the calculations on it. I'm a nerd. I keep my nerdy math out of the Discord so I don't upset the RJ gods.
There is a Discord channel specifically for nerdy math. That might actually be the best title for it. It's just nerdy math.
The problem is sometimes I don't have the energy to go back and forth with that much nerdy math, and I'm just like, hey, I just went to soccer practice with 2-year-olds. I'm exhausted.
It's fair.
So yeah, it's just, for example, the Waldorf Abu Dhabi went from my last calculation at 1.2 cent per point, which made it, oh, you can buy Hilton points and they're a great deal, right? I know you're not a Hilton point buyer, RJ. I respect that. Totally understand. But now we're looking at 0.7. That is a huge loss. And granted, you're still getting value, but like it's now 200,000 points a night. And let's say that, hey, I'm not a person that has the ability to get referrals. I'm not a person that travels for work travel. All I have is a Hilton Aspire because I know I love Hiltons. I love and I'm going to say this. I'm not going to dog the Hilton program. I still love the consistency in getting my food and beverage credit. And you can say until you're blue in the face, the diamond status doesn't mean anything, but that 34X means something. That those credits on the Aspire means something. And the food and beverage credits that I have the flexibility to use at any point in the day. And it's not Bonvoy saying, here's a $10 coupon at a Westin, right? It means something. But now when we're talking about, hey, I can't do that math in my head. I am not that smart. We're talking about the average traveler, 200,000 points. Even with a Hilton Aspire, you're talking about $6,000 that you have to spend to get a single night.
So that leads me to a question, gentlemen, and maybe this will turn into a topic, but if you had to balance availability, points earning, like how you accrue your points, general points per stay, what is the best hotel program right now? And no, being able to accrue Bonvoy points and transferring them to an airline does not count for this. I'm talking about for the hotels that you're staying in.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we doing it as travelers that we are right now? Or are we looking at an econo traveler, a luxury traveler?
I'm looking at, we'll say, if a traveler came up to you, like you just know that they travel and they stay in hotels. They're not staying at like the budget inns. They're not staying at the Waldorfs, right? I don't want to say average traveler because that is a hard one, but I mean like the everyman traveler and like not work travel, personal, not super high end, not super low end, just like me, but more often, I guess. Though I stay in more hotels than people think. I just do them on the weekends to get away from life.
It's a great mental health exercise.
I also drop. So let's talk to this question. And then I have a follow-up that is non-related to this question. But what is the quote best hotel program, or what is we'll say strongest. We won't go with best. We'll use strongest as the qualifier.
You know what's funny? This is a topic for the podcast that I've been putting off for the four of us to answer for like 3 months now.
Guess what, Greg?
um, so for me, if I'm recommending a hotel program to somebody, there needs to be a few things. I need you to be able to have economy options in multiple locations. Despite what anyone says, I'm just not dealing in the populations right now where the only place that people are staying are high-end luxury properties, right? Like you need to be able to see a Fairfield or an IHG, Holiday Inn, things like that. You need to have a credit card that it has entry level for me. Like I'm looking at this from a holistic program. Like I want you to have a free card. I want you to have a card where we have a chain up and down where if you want to escalate further, you can. And also I look at what transferable currencies are there, and what are your earn rates? How much is it going to take for you to spend to get a free night? And when I say free, but like a points night at the lowest end in the property portfolio and at the highest end. And you can do that either with transferable currencies or with proprietary co-branded cards. So I don't know if that helps me, and then also status recognition, of course, but that's a property by property, person to person thing.
Right. So saying all of that, what is your answer?
I hate that I have to say this. I truly, it gives me the ick. I think if you are the type of traveler that you want one singular luxury card and you are staying at high-end properties.
I did not say high-end properties. We talked about the spectrum. We talked about the spectrum. Okay. I
said high-end and low-end. You want some variability.
Okay.
But you don't stay much outside of big cities. I think pairing Chase and Hyatt is a great look because you can have the CSR and baseline Hyatt earnings. You're earning 9x at that point, right? So 5,000 points divided by 9. Oh, not times 9.
I get what you're saying. I cannot endorse Hyatt.
It's $500.
There is not enough Hyatts in enough places in the US for me to endorse Hyatt. I understand why you're saying it.
I think this is where it depends, right? Because I can't give a flat baseline answer because for example,
I agree with Chad, IHG.
It works. And IHG was my second option. Right. And for that, I will say this. If you are staying in big cities, Hyatt works, right? Now, granted, if you need to be in the suburbs, and when I say suburbia, I mean anything 5 miles outside of a big city limit, Hyatt just starts to be a murky, non-consistent territory. But IHG, you have it at the low end, you have it at the high end, you have decent point value. I have not had IHG status, so I cannot speak to status recognition, but looking at it from a spend category, the cards are good earners. I wish Chase transferred over at 2-to-1 instead of 1-to-1, but it is what it is. And you can buy those points super cheap, I think. And one thing I love, and this is a superpower that I wish more places would do, properties would do. 4th night free is so strong.
Yeah, it is.
Like that just changes the math so much. And correct me if I'm wrong, aren't the IHG properties, do they just give you, the free night awards, aren't they just points like choice, or is it?
No, they're actual certificates. So you get a little wallet. Like my ambassador cert is in there, my free night certs are in there, and then you just can click on it and then you go through. I like IHG, you can just buy ambassador, which is separate from their status tiers. I understand why you say Hyatt. I am not downing Hyatt as a program. I am downing Hyatt as location based.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Matt, I'm not going to let you get through this unscathed.
I It is most likely IHG. I don't have enough. I don't have enough experience with them, but Choice feels like it's going to start gaining. It could potentially start gaining some ground here. The problem is Choice has where Choice is strong. They've got the Ascent categories. They've got like Radisson properties in the United States now. What they don't have is that tier right in the middle. Like Hyatt has straight Hyatt. Hyatt has Hyatt Regency. Hyatt Regency is not particularly high end. Marriott has Courtyard. Marriott has residence like between middle and upper tier. But like Marriott has a hotel at every program, at every level, right? Hilton has a hotel at every level. They introduced Spark. Why? I don't know. True was fine for like their absolute low end. Like Choice has a lot of stuff at the low end with Quality Inn, with Clarion, with Sleep Inn, with all of that. So I can't say for certain that Choice is a good option here. But you know, if you've got status, I'm sure they'll recognize your status relatively easily. My one stay at a Choice property like last year wasn't bad. It was I want to say it was like a Country Inn and Suites up near a Six Flags. So that was fine.
I know where
they're
that hotel
not
is.
What?
I like the Country Inn.
I know where that hotel is.
Yeah. It was fine. It worked. I think Choice. The problem is like we always talk about like, oh well, Choice has an opportunity to gain, but like they're not opening new hotels, they're not opening a new brand, they're not fighting for that middle section of the market where like a lot of folks end up being.
I think I'm going to disagree with you there, because when I think about middle of the market, I think Choice is pretty smack dab in the middle there. Like I would look at Wyndham and Best Western as right below that tier, with Choice somewhat in between that big four of IHG, Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt.
I don't think Hyatt can be in that tier though. I think Hyatt. So I would put Marriott and Hyatt on the top tier. I would put Marriott and Hilton on the top tier. I would put IHG and Hyatt for very different reasons on the next tier.
Fair enough. And
then I would put everybody else. Because like IHG is...
I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. Go for it.
Oh no, I apologize. For the listeners, there is a little bit of lag because we are all not hardwired in. So we really don't mean to talk over each other. Half of the time we just have lag because that's how the internet works. But no, I think that no program is perfect. If Hilton had stronger values, Hilton's program is amazing. It's just the point values. IHG, I think, is as close to Hilton as you get right now with keeping better point values. Not great, but better. And the fourth night free versus the fifth night free is great.
Yeah, so I would say it would be IHG. Choice could play into that potentially, and Choice has better point transfers from your transfer currencies because you're going to get 1 to 2 with Citi and Wells Fargo.
Clinton, that is sunken cost fallacy, and I reject that.
That's fair. From the award standpoint, I've been able to book more Hyatt award nights than any other chain. Yeah, I mean they're relatively easy to book, and the fact that they still work off of their award chart helps. But there's also going to be duds along the way with that, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. Spaithco has had amazing luck in certain hotels.
There's that. I mean, the local Hyatt House and Hyatt. So if the two closest, the Hyatt House and Hyatt Place that are closest to me in my travel up and down the Route 9 corridor were category 1s, I would spend way more time in them than I do. They're both category 2s, and it's just unnecessary points. And it's just like they don't feel like hotel. I stay at them, I like them, but they do not feel like they are worth the price that they are quoted at. and they do not feel that they are worth the points that they are quoted at, even though I'm spending, sub 10,000 points a night in those properties. Because on a weekend, the Hyatt place is 9,000 points, whereas like the local Courtyard in that same area would be, if I'm lucky, 20, maybe 25, and I'd have to hit like a weeknight bonus with being at Belfield to get that at 27,000 points a night. So like Marriott's good because it doesn't matter what type of hotel you're looking for, Marriott has something for you. And Marriott's cash plus points can be okay. They're not amazing value, they're okay. You do get fifth night free with Marriott. You do get other good value with Marriott. The problems with Marriott are the Bonvoy program makes no sense. Your Bonvoy recognition is literally whatever that particular hotel owner's feeling is on a Wednesday, maybe with a crescent moon, and possibly breakfast is included if they decided to foot the bill for it.
They won't.
Yeah.
Right. Bonvoy hotels are great. Marriott hotels are great. The problem with Marriott is that the program is not recognized the way that it needs to be with the number of hotels and partners that they have. They are everywhere, but they aren't able to, you can't confidently walk in as Titanium and know that your Titanium status is going to be matched for that day, for that stay.
I agree with that. So, and I'm going to say this, and this is 100% recency bias, and I'm going to own that 100%. I hit Ambassador this year, and every stay that I've had since being an ambassador, I've been upgraded, right? And I'll say the My 24 check-in thing I thought was going to be a joke. It's somewhat helpful. For me, I don't know if it's the upgrade from Titanium to Ambassador or if it is the new upgrade system where they just are saying, hey, who's the highest ranking status person through AI right now? And we're just going to give you the upgrade. But
yeah,
I have to agree with everybody that it's far too inconsistent. Napa, when we stayed at that luxury place, absolutely amazing. I loved it. Best use of airline points that I've ever used, right? But going to the West End in Napa, that is one of their luxury property types, right? Like that, it's a West End. Like that is supposed to be part of their premium luxury collection. They didn't even give us breakfast. And it's not you just don't have status. I was a Titanium member at that point with like 20 grand in spend. So you can't say that like, maybe they just didn't recognize you. They gave us two $20 vouchers for breakfast, which didn't cover our entrees.
Yeah. So like Marriott is great as like, I need a hotel. You can find a Marriott.
Marriott's great for portal bookings.
If
you're a work traveler, it's awesome because you're not
like
spending your own money.
If I am going through the Delta portal, like if I'm just trying to MQD it, right? Like it's the beginning of a new year. I need to rack up $10,000 additional MQDs to hit platinum. I'm fine with going with Marriott because I like their hotels. I like their locations. I have gold because of my platinum card. So when I come in, even though I don't have status through my portal booking, sometimes they'll, be a little nicer. I don't get spit on. So I'm fine with booking a Marriott through the Delta portal. Do I want to book it through Marriott? I do not. Where with other brands, depending on what if it's IHG or Hilton, if it's IHG especially, I am more likely to book it directly through IHG. If I'm looking for MQDs, though, I'm probably going to book a Marriott through Delta.
Yeah, Marriott's fine through portals. I've had no problems with the Hilton's book through portals too. Like if I'm, I don't care about I don't care about getting the night because I can buy my Hilton status. I'm fine with that. As for the Hilton devals, like those aren't big deals for me because I'm not staying at that high end. Like I don't have like I have enough points for one night at the new top end rate. What am I going to do booking one night? Like
You get
that's
12
silly.
aspires, and then
Exactly.
you get 13 nights.
Yeah, so here's the dirty little secret about that. Amex isn't going to give me more than like 4 or 5 cards. I've got
That's why you
2
get
right
player
now.
2 involved.
I'm sorry. No.
Here's so Spathco brought up a point that like it's better point redemptions for high, and I agree. If you go to places like we talk about in the Discord all the time, a redemption's great, but if it's not a redemption for you, it doesn't matter how great it is. Like if you told me a city card was 20x everything, I would not care, except for like to maybe cash it out. I just wouldn't
What about
care.
cash back?
Like, and I am not somebody who tends to cash out points, right? So like for me, it wouldn't do anything for me. For Craig, if he's working on AA miles, he doesn't need them, but in a Brazzaro world, if he's working on AA miles, that would be great, right? So it's like, if Hyatt doesn't work for you, it doesn't matter how good the redemptions are. Like maybe it's a tool in your kit, right? Like I'm not saying never stay there, but it probably can't be your primary unless you're going on very specific trips.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and this is going to sound very odd. The most recent Hilton deval has actually pushed me more so now to valuing the Edit and FHR collection, especially for that higher end property. Because what do I care if I'm using 100,000 Amex points versus 200,000 Hilton points, right? I'm going to stay the night. That's where I want to stay. And I know my FHR benefits will be a better usage of actual status recognition. And it's also pushed me towards going to non-chain hotels. I've always been a Pendry lover, but like now, if I want to do a high-end stay, who's to say like, oh, let's go to a Peninsula or a Pendry or a Four Seasons. I find now more value in the actual stay itself as opposed to where I know that I will get good customer service as opposed to having to play this will they won't they game with a status program.
I would like to have always just stay at a Four Seasons money. That is my ideal hotel. Ideal hotel program is just always have Four Seasons money.
You can go to the one in Philly. It's only a couple $100 a night. That's where I was hoping they do White Lotus this year. It's just in Philly, and it's just the guests getting the shit kicked out of them.
I have AA miles that I need to use. Maybe I'll just go to Philly and use my AA miles to fly me to Philly. I think that's one of the ones we fly direct.
Yep, it is.
Maybe I'll do that. Why not? I need to
Matt
find
looks so concerned.
No, just looking at other hotel loyalty programs at the moment.
It's like, here's the thing. I think if a program works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Also, yes, McManus missed the field goal. We're very sad about this. So the is this for the entire time or is this for $1,100 per night in November for the basic room at the Four Seasons in Philly.
I just want to say this. It's on top of the UPenn fundraising building.
Let me see regular April just to compare.
What would it look like through
$1,300? No, it is not a couple $100. I don't know what they did to those prices.
I can give you my UPenn code when we're off air.
Ooh.
No, I think I stayed at a double. Did I? I don't remember. I stayed outside of Philly because we were going to the soccer game. So it's not in downtown Philly. No, there are more Hiltons and IHGs where I stay than there are Hyatts. That's my biggest problem. Like, I love the idea of the Hyatt program. I just don't like the practicality for me of the Hyatt program. But if it works for you, it's a great program. There are more qualifiers with it than I like for general
it is a
Pete's comment.
better but it is a better program in terms of being a loyalty program than compared to Bonvoy. Well, doesn't take much to be a better loyalty program than Bonvoy, but yeah, complaining about the points value, Marriott and Hilton, how inconsistent status and your upgrades are with those with their brands. IHG and Hyatt have good point values and loyalty programs. Yeah, I think IHG is probably the best all around. Like you've got plenty of options. Worst comes absolute worst comes to worst. Where you staying? Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express. You could do so much worse.
I'll be honest, I just don't have enough experience with IHG to have an informed opinion, so that's why I'm giving pause there.
Great. There's a chance in 26 that IHG becomes my number one and Hilton becomes my number two, not because of the Hilton points, just because I've had really good luck and I like to buy in. Like, I wish other companies gave you an ambassador style status, like that you could just buy.
Marriott's about to have one.
I don't care about Marriott, Matt.
My Citizen M Plus is pretty much about to be Marriott Gold on demand.
I mean, if it was platinum, at least that would be interesting.
Beggars, choosers, and
I mean, you can buy platinum status for $650.
Yeah,
and if you really want platinum status, $300 discount.
Yeah, you just got to buy food once a month for $25.
I don't want Marriott. Like, I don't care. I would give up Marriott status to just get Diamond for Hilton.
So one thing that might be changing next month. Hold
on, we have a super before we go on.
Is this from Double Double?
This is from Double Double.
Are we going to hear more about Craig's YouTube channel?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No. So I just bought a microphone, one so I can have better audio. I've also bought an M4 MacBook Air so I can help do some editing and things of that nature. Got the education discount, which that was nice, and I also got an iPad. So I know that's why I was like, oh yeah, I spent more money than RJ this week.
Yeah, you did.
And the best part about all of this, after I pressed click yes on my Apple Card, I heard this wonderful grinding noise, and then the AC stopped working.
Nice,
right? The blower on my AC and furnace went out. But to that point, it's not going to only be points and miles. I think it's going to be a bit of a lifestyle thing. I really, really love games. I like leatherworking, and so I'm trying to decide if it needs to be multiple channels or if I can just have, if I don't know if I'm interesting enough for people to actually want to watch that.
You're very interesting.
I want people to feel entertained, and that I want them to say like, oh yeah, I didn't just waste my time because you came in here and you regurgitated one of Matt's videos, or you have the exact same takes as Chad, and I can get a better version of your video if I just go to Chad's things, right? Like if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure that it's unique enough where people feel that it's a good usage of their time. So I want to get a few videos recorded and then drop them in kind of sequence and see how that just kind of plays out.
I think that you should do a channel that's just like a cornucopia of awesome.
And just a whole bunch of random hobbies that I have.
Just talk about credit cards and then talk about leatherworking and then do a backpack review. I think you could 100% do that. That is such a pretty backpack. It's so pretty.
They made custom straps for me, and they said, I know they didn't mean it, but they're like, oh yeah, you're a big, large, round guy, so we added little flaps so they don't dig into your side. And I said, I'm not round, damn it. I'm just wide.
Again, Chad is looking for the link.
I promise once it's up, I will drop a link.
Yeah, you can use the host videos as well.
I don't care about I don't care about Ambassador. Craig, or also once you get the link, I need it so I can update the website.
Gotcha.
Yes. Apparently I can't access Chase Travel right now. This is fun. So
As
one
much as
thing
you, I
that
had that same problem earlier today.
will be interesting will be with the Sapphire Reserve getting IHG Platinum status. Right, it's not going to get Fortnite free, which is a pain. But could they, if they integrate IHG further into the portal, and you can have your status reflected with your stays in the portal? Don't care about the nights adding up. Just like, I want to get my 8 times points for my cash booking at a Holiday Inn. It would be really interesting to be able to get 8 times points, have your status reflected in your portal booking, don't care about the nights gained, and just be able to like have the ability to travel to IHG.
Like I think as soon as whatever portal manages to get a status reflected, I think is going to change the game.
The edit is like, there are select ones that are falling into the Chase portal. My Chase Plus is falling in there. Omni is falling in there. And this is the regular portal. This isn't the edit that I'm talking about.
Right. But I need it to be like one I use, Matt.
Yes.
I don't think
I know it
you're
needs to be the Delta
understanding.
portal and it needs to be FHR. I get that. Like, fine, whatever. FHR. No, I'm sorry. The Amex portal already does this.
I know, but picking on you is so much more enjoyable for me.
I stay silent for half the live. What are you talking about?
Again, picking on you is truly my favorite part of the live.
Tariq's not here. Somebody has to catch it.
Whatever.
No,
Also-
but I do think what you're saying is true, Matt.
I have a question. Does anybody in the chat or on my co-hosts have experience I prefer hotels?
I want to say Spathco does. I do not.
I have.
I mean,
not
from
yet.
like a status standpoint.
No, but they do sell their status from time to time. I do know that you can buy I prefer status from time to time, and if you pick that up, you can probably status match to another hotel relatively easily.
And I realize that's going to be a similar issue to Hyatt with a footprint, but just curious as to what recognition looks like for them.
I don't know the I prefer program that well. It would be nice if one of my main transfer points could go to I prefer and get the city rate so that I don't have to entertain city in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
If
that'll
City
be the next
transferred to
Wells Fargo.
JetBlue and Hyatt, would you go for it, Matt?
What was that?
If City started transferring to Hyatt, would you go for it?
No, God, no.
If
I respect that.
If Wells Fargo started transferring to Hyatt, would you go for it?
Yes. Like, then Wells becomes like the best possible ecosystem for like 80% of people.
I wouldn't go 80%, but it is a good ecosystem.
Damn sight, it'd be a damn sight better than Chase.
Yeah, but they would nerf the Attune first. It'd be a 2.5% everything card.
Ooh, no, 2.5%. How dare we?
I meant like versus the 4% in their categories.
Yeah.
Honestly, the moment Wells starts handing out groceries at Uncapped, I'm here for it.
Yup.
Which, if I'm being honest, their card offers are better than Chase's because it's so much more targeted. I think I've saved maybe like $400 this year. Actually, not 400. I want to say like 150 to maybe $200 on just groceries and entertainment. Let's see here.
I have actual status Spithco. Like I buy Ambassador, but I also have Platinum from the credit card.
Hey, you can actually get IHG status reflected, IHG One rewards eligible for non-edit hotels.
Nice. But IHG is also one of their partners, so there is that.
That's fine. Points boost and my IHG status would be reflected. Yes, please. I just want to earn more on, like, give me
You
more.
want
choice.
more for less, as we
Yes.
all do. It's not a unreasonable thing to want.
Auto campus points boost eligible, especially for $200. Well, it's $235 a night. That's not the big deal. 50,000 points for 3 nights. That's fine.
So I just double checked it. $182.66. Wells has saved me just on groceries this year. So it's not a huge thing, but it's enough to say that it's better than Chase.
No, if they ever add a grocery category, that's it. Everybody's done.
I would love to know the back end of why groceries are so expensive for transferable currencies, but when you see them for co-branded cards, they're all over the place.
Gift cards. My bet would be gift cards. Because
Probably
a lot of grocery stores sell gift cards.
Fair enough.
I think that's part of why it got capped. Well, the IHGs that I would stay at through the portal aren't showing as IHG eligible. Fix it, Chase. Anyway, yeah, I think the reason that you have caps on the gold card is people started running a ton of gift cards at their local grocery store.
Some of us have to feed people, and it's inconvenient.
I wonder
Well-
if you got like tripped by a sensor thinking it was gift cards.
It's never happened to me.
No, like not like that you would see, but just like a yellow flag on your file
Oh,
of
this
just
man
like
spends an unreasonable amount
perhaps
of money.
he is gift carding.
Spathco does raises a point that settlement fees are also low for grocery because they're an essential category, which makes
Potentially.
sense.
Thank you.
Also,
I'm surprised they don't do the same for gas.
gas
Is gas
isn't
considered-
essential. I have an EV. I don't need gas. Putting gas in my car would in fact be dangerous.
Depends on where you put it.
You also live in an area, Matt, where driving is not always essential, or a little bit above an area where driving is not essential. I meant the city, not you specifically.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, where I live, driving is 1,000% essential. There are no walkable, well, there's like little walkable hamlets. Ooh. No.
Huh. We have something to talk about after this episode.
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll hold it. It's fine. It's
I
in the
plan to read.
Centurion lunch.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Well, we'll talk about it later. It's fine. But yeah.
So I have a question. Going back to our hotel loyalty, RJ, what would Hilton have to do to break your loyalty?
Make gold suck. Like make gold status suck.
Taking away the food and beverage credit, or
Like I care about the 80% points boost. That is the thing I care about. Because that is the thing that I most care about on gold. If they dropped it down to 50, that radically changes it. Because
in fairness, I agree
I
with you.
can do a booking, get 80% on top of buying 5,000 points for cheap. Like that's the only time I buy points is like if they're like, "Hey, you want 5,000 points for $20?" Sure. Like I do that all the time. If it's under $25, I'll do it.
I'll say this: I think for 90 to 95% of people, gold status with Hilton is more than enough. The extra 4x that you get for diamond status with an Aspire isn't really a huge difference when we're talking. Also, the Aspire, great earning card if you're big into dining, flights, and car rentals. But I just think the Surpass is just a so much more well-rounded card, and gold status gives you 85% of what diamond does.
I still want the parking space. Do I need it? No. But my brain says I could have it.
when I first started traveling, so I've been traveling for work since like 2018. I saw people in that diamond parking spot and I was like, wow, that must be like the most elite thing ever. And then it's not.
Oh, do I care? Here's the thing. Am I going to get the Aspire? Yes. Do I care about the status? Like, do I actually care about the parking spot? No. But every time I cannot park there, does my brain bristle a little bit? Yes.
So here's the thing. I want to see the market study that says what percentage of people are actually diamond that park there versus I'm tired and I'm just parking. You're not going to tell me.
Like, there's no way. Like, it would be interesting if they actually like checked, because I've never been asked for my license plate
Ever.
I do wonder if you're diamond if they ask you.
I doubt it.
No, they don't.
No? Then
I can tell you, I've been plenty of Hampton Inns and Hilton Garden Inns. They have never once asked me, and I can always say I bring a different car, so it's not like they can link it to my account.
yeah, it's an honor system. I'm sure it is, and I could probably get away with it, but my conscience wouldn't let me.
You're a good person. I appreciate the honesty.
I do want the internet speed actually would be good for me because, fun fact, I travel with a lot of tech.
Do you not get the high-speed internet with gold?
I don't. No, you get higher speed with diamond.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and I'm not buying high internet speed, but I would like it.
It makes a difference granted, I'm doing work in like OneDrive, like building slides out. So it makes a difference for that. But like for watching stuff, it's not terrible.
I travel with more tech than people have in their homes.
Fair enough. Do you have a hotspot?
I don't. I use my phone.
Okay.
My family phone plan has like many gigs of data on the hotspot that we can use, and I rarely use it because I work from home. So when I go anywhere, I have that. EV charging spots also a huge deal, especially if I'm driving someplace. So Hilton is good for that.
I think Hilton and IHG are the only places I've ever seen with EV because Marriott, none of the ones I've been to recently have had EV charging.
Newer built hotels might if they have the space for it, but
they're changing how they're doing the subsidies too.
Yeah. Ethernet jacks are pretty much extinct, which is a pain.
Microwaves are going the way of Ethernet jacks as well, which is an odd thing. And I know it's because some people microwave weird smelling things, and it's A&W. Oh,
A&W zero sugar. I have also zero sugar Dr. Pepper. I occasionally want something a little different. I started with a Coke Zero, and now I'm on an A&W zero sugar.
That's fair.
Sometimes I want to use my phone at the same time, Spathco, and it likes to get very warm because I have the Pro Max.
My work laptop will not connect to my personal phone's Wi-Fi hotspot.
I could see that being an issue, yeah.
Yeah, so I always have to have hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, no, microwaves, not in the room. It's a thing, and it bothers me, especially as somebody that will bring a leftover home, like a doggy bag home, or have a small child. Sometimes I just want to pop a darn bag of popcorn and have a small human leave me alone.
I also have seen rooms with just no little fridge in them, which is like, but where am I supposed to put the food that I just went and got if I want a snack at 2 a.m? Like,
that's why I book something like Homewood Suites or a Residence Inn so that I have the full scale fridge.
Some of us like to be a little bit fancy sometimes, Matt.
Well, if you're going to stay at the Ritz or you're going to stay at the Conrad and you can't afford the suite that will have the full fridge, that's on you.
I'm not saying the Conrad, man. I'm talking like I've stayed in a DoubleTree without them. And I asked, and they're like, yeah, we don't put them in anymore.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't know that the Pixel could do a function as a travel router.
That's cool. Jordan Love is throwing football real well right now, guys. This is your Packers update.
That's fine. I'm annoyed.
That the Packers are doing well or that the Mets are not?
Yes.
No other things. Anyway.
I'm wondering if travel routers and those Ethernet jacks are just going the way of the dodo because we have less business travelers in these positions, or these business travelers have their own company hotspots. I've been provided one now because also depending, I've never had an issue with Bonvoy's Wi-Fi, but some Hiltons and some independent chains, I, for whatever reason, cannot connect with them. My VPN does not like it.
What VPN do you use? This is actually an interesting travel question. What VPN do you use?
For my personal or for work?
I don't care about your work. Unless it's like Nord or Proton or something, which I'm assuming it's not.
It is not. For right now, it's what is. I usually just see whatever's the highest offer on Rakuten in January, and that's what I buy. But right now, I'm using NordVPN, and I've enjoyed it. It's nice.
I use Proton and Nord as the backup because Proton is my everyday. Nord is if I'm streaming something, and Proton won't stream it.
Fair enough.
I bought like a 3-year package for each at different times, so I have them both. I might as well use them as needed.
I always do just a 1-year annual, so that way I can go back and sign up with a different email address and get another Rakuten.
They've started to crack down on that.
Oh man, that's trash.
They've started. I have not experienced it myself, but I have seen a couple of posts where they've started to crack down on that.
I saw recently in the travel portal, American Airlines is no longer giving a lump sum for meal kits. So, or at least for Blue Apron, it's a 6X now, and I'm like, oh, that's absolutely terrible.
Well, yeah, because people bought the cheap one to get all of the points.
How else am I supposed to get 7,200 points at one time, RJ, for $13?
Well,
I can't help you with that.
The plight of me and my people we're experiencing right now. Also, this is going to sound so odd, but I just thought about this. AA and Bonvoy are the same programs, just one's a hotel and one's a flight, an airline. Because at the top end, you get treated well, and I'm realizing, as a normal person, both of these just are absolutely trash.
Yeah,
right?
I would co-sign that.
It's like I've flown AA so much just because I've had to do it for work, and I've stayed at Bonvoy's just because I have to for work. And at the truly top end, it's great, right? Well, I can't say for sure for Bonvoy yet, but internationally it's great, and so far Ambassador's great. But the pathway up to it, it's just an absolute slog through open raw sewage.
Keith, if I controlled my home network, I would probably use WireGuard, but I'm not the person that controls that. So, sadly, not in my wheelhouse. Yeah, but VPNs are one of those things that are very helpful.
Really nice for flight pricing.
Yeah. Also for credit card special offers occasionally. Matt, do you VPN?
No, I've been meaning to. But
I'm actually surprised by that.
I will at some point. Like, I just don't know which one I want to buy and then make that commitment. And then I'm stuck between two houses. Like,
which is why a VPN is so good.
Yeah, but yeah. I just haven't.
Here's another charged question. What browser do you guys use?
I'm mainly just on Chrome. I need to get off of Chrome because there's way too many ads, and Chrome is breaking ad blockers because they broke uBlock Origin. Now you have to run uBlock Origin Lite, and that's going to get broken at some point. Just the ad blockers. I need less ads injected into the pages because they're unbearable. I have 48 gigs of RAM. I'm sure that like if I turned off ad blocking, Chrome would cripple my computer. I've thought about Brave. I've played with Brave. I've played with Vivaldi. I've played with Edge. Edge is worse. I just want something clean at this point, and I want something so that when I go through Rove Shopping and start using Rove Shopping or any shopping network through my laptop, that I actually get the goddamn points. Like every time I purchase anything through like Rakuten or anything like that through my browser, I don't get shit.
I have started just using the app on my phone.
That's great, but Rove doesn't have an app yet.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
I just meant for Rakuten. Vivaldi is what I'm using right now for my personal stuff, and I love it. It's great. It has just enough customization that I can make it do what I want and not too much. I wish Arc was still being actively developed because I loved that browser, but they're not, and the company kind of annoyed me. Spathco, if it makes you feel better, I use Microsoft Edge on my work computer because I have to run Windows for work. So
Same.
there you go. I will not.
Actually, hold on. Chrome extension only works on Rove extension only works on Chrome as far as I know. But Edge is a Chromium browser.
Chromium does not matter for certain things.
Yes, but I'm wondering how WizKitty the kids at Rove are.
So I'm the one plebe that mains Safari, but that's just because I enjoy it across the cell phone, laptop, and now iPad. I've recently started Vivaldi at RJ's recommendation, and I've enjoyed that so far. There's just so much of like putting passwords back in because I've been using Safari now for like 7 years.
Do you not use 1Password or like
LastPass or
yeah.
You've been mainlining Apple passwords?
Yep, sure have.
Oh god, that hurts.
And every time I get a, hey, your passwords are at risk, and I was like, it's fine.
You have a wife. Like, you don't use 1Password to share passwords?
She knows all my passwords. I know her passwords.
I don't. Oh, you shouldn't know any of your passwords. You should only know the password to get into 1Password.
They haven't stolen my money yet.
God, I'm having chest palpitations. Spathco, blink twice if you're okay.
Spaceco's not okay.
My God. This is like finding out that like your teacher works at TGI Fridays like during the summer. Like I feel discombobulated.
Actually, a lot of your teachers work at Tractor Supply companies so they can get healthcare. I learned that in Philly.
yeah, there's that.
Fair, but like, I mean, a lot of mine just worked on farms because, you know,
Reasons.
upstate.
Yeah.
You know, if your brother or father has a farm that you can work on in the summers, might as well. Bitwarden is also good. I just like 1Password because we have family vaults, we have our individual vaults. Like it works very well. And there are extensions, and then you can just do the things. I love it. And you can get Rakuten points. See, Spathco and I finally found a place that we agree. Guys, Spathco and I wholeheartedly agree on something.
Does it
Ooh.
matter that I use the Apple strong password stuff? And when I say I know my password is a finger or a face.
That is slightly better. I would prefer
You
slightly.
want me to just use a security key?
I want you to be protected, sir, because I care about you and your digital safety.
Yeah, well, my nudes are already out there. So if I want to run for president, internet's seen my wiener.
I care more about like your credit card numbers, but good to know.
That's Amex's money.
You can export out of Safari into like 1Password.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know my 1Password password. That is the one I know.
Okay. If it will make the chat and RJ feel better, I will get 1Password. Also, as I said, the internet's seen my wiener. I saw Space go, I agree. And I go, what? Had to read the rest of that comment. I was like, well, sir.
I'm never going on the internet again. Yeah, Keith, trust me, it's
a sketchy place. It's very
just
not
don't
nice.
search Craig's name without putting your safe search on.
No face, no case.
I did just successfully install the Rove Miles extension into Microsoft Edge, so it works on Edge.
There you go.
Yay!
I don't know why you would
That's
use
actually
Microsoft
been
Edge,
productive.
but there you go.
It's fine.
Fine is not a word I like with browsers.
Well, some of us just accept our fates in life.
The internet was a mistake for some people, Keith. Some people use it responsibly.
No, they don't.
Very few of us. You put this on Al Gore's internet? How dare you?
Oh, Al Gore. Ahead of his time in some ways.
What is Al Gore doing right now?
He's on the board of Apple and makes millions a year.
Only millions?
I mean, he's probably giving a PowerPoint to somebody about climate change right now.
And then Greta comes from the top rope and drops an elbow right into him.
Do I seriously not have Vivaldi or Brave? What am I doing with my life?
Vivaldi is
No
great,
Brave.
man. Albert Arnold Gore Jr. That is a name.
I just hate the name Albert in general.
Yeah. It feels like it belongs in the 50s.
Yeah. It feels like it's a name that only your grandfather should have.
I use Overcast. I quite like it.
Yeah, they just he just raised the price for the yearly
It's
subscription.
$14.99.
Yeah.
I use it like I don't want to have to change podcast apps. Like if it was $20 a year, maybe, but I don't really want to change podcast apps.
Haven't
The
been
shopping portal does not have this.
listening to podcasts lately, so there's that.
I listen to a lot of tech podcasts while I work because like I can compartmentalize it in my brain. And I listen to sports podcasts. But there's not a lot of like great sports podcasts that are just general sports anymore. Like I miss the glory days of like PTI. I know it's still on the air, but it's not the same anymore. It's not. I love Tony Kornheiser and Mike Wilbon, but it's just not the same anymore. They just did a new contract with Tony Kornheiser. He's going to be employed by ESPN until he's 80.
Oh my God.
So
I'm
just
sorry. What is
reopen-
this app called? 1Password?
1Password. And it is on Rove. Or not Rove, Rakuten.
Number 1Password. 27.5x.
Yeah. It's worth it. I love it. You make vaults. You can keep your passwords separate from your wives, but you can have a joint one where you like have like streaming stuff. It's great.
Now the question is, do I want 28 Rakuten MR points or 20 AA miles?
You should just make a purchase through Rove and give me some more points.
Matt, I've already given you 3 referrals. Don't be greedy.
They need to make a purchase before I get any points.
We did. It's me, my wife, and
I loved Around the Horn, James. I loved that one.
we did one for our son.
Huh.
Yeah, you got 1,500 points off us, sir.
I've only gotten like 1,200 points total.
Because it's 500 points a referral, right?
Yes, I've only got. So I had one show up in August. I have one show up in literally today. I've only had 2 show up.
So I've done mine in August, and then we did my wife and Augie in.
If y'all did it today, that's great. Thank you.
No, we did it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, interesting.
Or just get the product you need, guys. Like, let's not make everything complicated.
Well, no, I just want to make sure he gets his points.
No, not Rove. It was a Keith comment. They do some elevated offers occasionally. But, like, you need a password manager that doesn't give me heart palpitations.
Yeah. What's a little cardiac arrest amongst friends?
Yep.
Yes, Daddy Vroom, there is that. Unfortunately, you don't get points for that, though.
Wait, is this only $19?
Interesting.
Oh, it's per month. Okay, I was very confused here for a moment.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we talked Hilton devals. We've got Amex Platinum changes probably coming next week.
Yeah, that should hit probably the day of our live next week, which will be interesting because Craig and I both hold Amex Platinums. I have a feeling there's
FHR credit.
I have a feeling there's going to be at least one thing that we're not expecting. I don't know what it's going to be, but I have a feeling there's going to be something that hasn't leaked yet.
I mean, I'm all over.
I feel like for me, the Lululemon thing is the unexpected.
Like, I mean, something like they're going to change like portal earnings or something. Like,
oh my God, if they give me 10x in the FHR, I'm here for that.
Like, if they did, even if they did 8x FHR or 6 or 7x in the portal, like they got to do something.
Do you know what I really want? I want freaking at least 5x everything for cruises and car rentals. I'm tired of getting 2x. That's why I don't book through the Amex portal.
That would be very nice. That would be very nice. No, I'm interested to see what it is. I'm interested to see all of it laid out officially. Even though I think for me, it's still a net win. I will redo the math officially once it launches, but for me, it's still a net win right now.
What would make me extremely happy, even if it's not just a portal earning, or if it's elevated portal earnings, give me 5x direct hotels. I know you can do it, Amex.
Yeah,
even if it's a limit.
I do not. Max Rewards keeps not working with my cards, like not like all of them. So I don't use Max Rewards. I have card pointers. Because I like to bulk add offers to my cards, and that is the easiest way to do it.
I like Max Rewards. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No. I had Max Rewards. I just let it lapse because my card changed. I didn't want to pay the $130 again. So I will go back to Max Rewards at some point. But most of the offers, like a lot of offers that come up, I don't. Lifetime card pointers. A lot of the offers that come up don't reflect my spend on Amex and Chase. Like they just don't. So I'm not really losing out by not being able to add everything.
Yeah, but on that one-off where I didn't realize I added it and then I got it, it's nice. Like, it's
That's
like a little surprise.
That's definitely fair.
Yeah, Card Pointers is great. I like it'll like do the 524 for me which right now is like 6 years and 3 days.
2.
I am aware of how long 24 is, Matt.
Oh, no. I'm at 2.
Oh, I'm at, hold on. I can tell you because I have a countdown for it. Because I have a countdown for everything.
I can add 3 cards if I want to, but does Chase have 3 personal cards I want to add right now? No.
Well, you can add 3 cards for anybody. That's the thing. I have 567 days until I'm under 524. Yeah, that's my problem, Keith. It just wouldn't work for me.
I
Yeah,
think I'm 724 right now.
I wish there. I used. Oh, I cannot. I can see the. It's like Card Wallet, something like that. I liked that, and then they introduced features that like connect your card spending to it, but I didn't like how they did it, so I just use my spreadsheets, and I use Card Pointers a little bit, but mostly as a browser extension.
Yeah, at one point I like downloaded Kudos, or I added the Kudos extension, and I don't like it, so I'll probably get rid of it.
It's fair.
Didn't MQBHD come up with a video saying Kudos was like a scam?
Most YouTube advertisements are scams, apparently.
No, like this was a this was a big problem.
What was Kudos doing exactly?
Oh God, they were like they were
not
redoing
paying people
links,
out.
not paying. Yeah, there was actual issues with Kudos. Oh, Honey was the one.
Kudos or Honey?
Honey, there
Honey.
we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Pick a
Okay,
card.
thank you guys.
Remove Kudos. Get up to 150 miles on Kudos. Yeah, no, I just removed it. So what could Kudos do better? I don't know. I'm not filling this out. Bye.
I was talking to Josh Giebel about this. We're at the point now, and I appreciate it. If I have to fill out a form or write a cover letter, I'm not applying for that job. And I'm of the mindset that if I need to fill out a form for your rewards program and not just click a button, I'm good. I don't need it.
Do I want to go to a hotel in 2 weeks? And do I want to do it through Amex Travel?
Yes, you do.
I mean, I know I do. It's a question of.
So I have a question.
Yes.
What are you most excited about, RJ, for a possibility, and what would make you happiest with a platinum refresh, besides not paying $1,000?
1.5 everything. Like if I could get 1.5 everything, I would be so happy. It's not going to happen. But from what we know, I do genuinely, if they don't go to 2 nights, the FHR I think is a win. If they bump up FHR and just make it to half of the years, I genuinely think that is a win for people. I know people hate the split, but you're getting overall more, and FHR is a good program. If FHR sucked, that would be one thing, but FHR is genuinely a good program. And if you have the if you have the platinum, you should probably be traveling to places with FHR hotels at least twice a year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What do you think?
I've been doing the back and forth right now for if we're keeping the CSR or if we're keeping the platinum. I've almost come to the exact agreement that we're probably just going to cancel the CSR and just get a Ritz card, despite not, and just be clear, not for any Bonvoy benefits, purely just for Sapphire Lounge access. For me, that's worth the $450, and then I guess I'll call in for the $300 flight credit or whatever that is. But I've come to realize the last 3 trips that we've done to Philly, we have gone in the the Centurion Lounge, and each time has been no less than a 45-minute wait. And you know, I'm getting to the airport 3 hours early with my little guy. We're getting there with enough time to get settled and then get on the plane because I can't imagine, and Matt knows this, I can't imagine anything worse than having a small child cooped up in an airport trying to behave themselves and then have to get on a flight for 3 hours.
Yeah, mine was good has so far been good on the plane, but she was a menace in the terminal.
Exactly. So also, it's just such a small club by comparison. Food is a little bit better. There's a little bit more variation in food, but I think it's worth $450, even if I'm only traveling once a month now for work. And guys, I'm so excited. I've gone 2 continuous months without a work trip.
Wow.
It's been so nice.
That is, I mean,
All my
not
travel has been personal.
Not going to the ER, but no travel.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Little combi.
You know. He's doing sports now. He's just beating himself silly, and I just like, dude, please. People are going to think we abuse you. But yeah, no, I think Sapphire Lounge access for New York and for Philly, DC, and Boston, it's worth it for me. But I will say the Platinum offers just far too much lounge access between Delta, Escape Lounges, Centurion Lounges on the West Coast, and the Venture X. We've determined that we are moving away from Capital One. So initially, we thought that we would move things over to the
Venture X.
Venture X and to the Capital One Duo with the Sabre. But my wife, she said, "Yeah, I don't like this app's UI, and I don't want to deal with this." Which I was like,
fair.
Capital One is pretty easy, and she goes, "Yeah, but like I don't like the deals here." She doesn't want to go and click into the deals. She just wants to know that her card is linked to Max Rewards. The apps are active. If I get something cool, if I don't get something, I'll click my Rakuten extension. But she doesn't want to have to take the extra steps to do C1 offers, which I understand. I get that, right? She's like, if it's not automatic or worst case scenario, I have to make one extra click, I don't want to do it.
I can understand that.
So that, and then on top of that, like we looked at like what our travel is possibly going to look like. It's mostly going to be domestic, with the exception of that one, fingers crossed, we still do Australia trip. But I think Delta is just going to be a better transfer partner for us right now. Instead of trying to finagle trying to catch a Flying Blue or Virgin Atlantic flight out of Indy, which is hit or miss, or trying to use Avios. So I will more than likely either keep the Gold and a Surpass or just move everything over to the Surpass. Actually, nope. Now that I say that out loud, I need to determine if we're still Hilton people or if we're going to IHG. So that's a thing.
Also a thing to consider, yeah.
So I think that we won't be traveling nearly as much. So I would like the few flights that we do have to take to be a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I just think that a Ritz and a Platinum are a better combination right now than a Delta Reserve and a Chase Sapphire Reserve for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see once you're not doing work, like if you ever get to a point where you're really not work traveling, then I can see you going harder into Delta.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I have my work travel for the next year, and it's like 1 trip a month, and then occasionally there's 2 trips.
That's impressive.
October is going to be the busiest month because I have to be in Philly 3 times, but other than that, it's down to like once a month, and I can't tell. It's weird to be at home so much, but I like it. It's so nice.
Rex, I have had better luck with card pointers working for me because it doesn't have to connect to anything for it to really work.
So right now, Keith, I'm using my second gold card because we already burned through the first one. Actually, a little bit quicker than we were expecting to because we finished that one out in May. and so that was just far more spend for groceries than we expected. But we've evened out, so we're on pace to like not max the second one. Also, just so everyone knows, I'm not just spending 40 grand on groceries for myself. We feed like 11 people. So like it's not just that. And I do get some reimbursement, not all the time, but sometimes they're like, "Hey, here's something." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. You thought of me for feeding you. I appreciate
I
that."
I feel like you and your wife should just be on like extreme couponers. Like I
Oh,
want
she
I
is.
want that episode.
You should see our Kroger app is crazy. Meyer, we get so many Meyer points that we can't keep up with them. So like we just give people like we'll like post like, "Hey, who needs $1 off of gas?" Because if you get prescriptions at Meyer, they give you half a dollar for each prescription, like 50 cents, and then you get 10 points per dollar. And so once you get to 10,000 points, you're there. And then they have offer deals. So, for example, buy 6 pounds of ground beef, you just got 50% off of $1 off of a gas. So, like, we're like the gas people in all of our households. So, like, we've luckily not paid over like 250 a gallon for like the last year and a half.
What Keith wants to know what your food card is. Oh, I'm sorry, you just answered that with gold. Sorry,
Yeah.
losing my mind. What do you think you're gonna have a different food card in 26?
I'll be honest. So we're trying to get the annual fees down as well because we're not traveling nearly as much. And it hurts my soul to say this. I think so. My Aspire annual fee will come up next month in October, which is weird because I opened the card in August, so I don't know why it doesn't hit until October. But I think I'm probably going to downgrade that to a 0 annual fee Hilton
You
card.
can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm thinking of the gold. I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good. I think that's going down. I think we'll probably keep the gold and also downgrade the Surpass. But if the other thing is, I'm not traveling nearly as much, so I'm also not spending nearly as much on dining. And granted, that was being reimbursed, but it also ate away at that dining for us. It feels dirty to say this, but I think we're going to go more heavily into Marriott for the upcoming year, because since I don't have the nights to, and I definitely won't have the spend to get Ambassador again, we'd at least like to maintain Titanium, and I'll probably move over into IHG as my Hilton replacement. So for you IHG folks out there, please explain to me how this works and how best to do things with IHG.
Get an IHG card.
You're like, dummy.
Get an IHG card.
Get a card, nerd.
Why? Okay, let me ask you, and I'm not asking from a place of judgment. I'm
Mhm.
genuinely curious. Why is maintaining a high Hilton status important to you specifically?
Do you mean Bonvoy?
Yes. Why is maintaining, guys, I have lost my mind. Why is maintaining a high Bonvoy status important to you?
3 reasons. One, United Silver. The free bags are very nice. So automatically, when we're traveling with our kid, that is a stroller, a car seat, and at least 2 check bags. So that's 4 bags that we have to deal with. And so just purely off of that, the people on my itinerary will get free bags. So we're not paying for that. And since I'm only going to be taking maybe 12 AA flights for the year, I know I'll maybe hit platinum status, so I'll be able to keep that. Depending on which way we go, it's nice to just not have to pay for bags. I have the Delta Business Gold, thanks RJ. So that takes care of bags for us there. And then we don't have any United cards, nor do I want them. So being able to cover those bags is really nice. United has consistently been our number 2 airline because we do a lot of out west travel for friends. And most of that is San Francisco or Aspen, but we fly into Denver. So like, even if it's just like 3 or 4 flights a year, that's a couple of $100 that we're saving round trip each time.
I'm interested of why you don't want a United card.
I just don't want. So my wife is very credit sensitive, and when I say that, most of the cards that I have are my cards. My wife
Mhm.
maybe has 4 credit cards. She has 2 Freedom cards. She has a Quicksilver that she's had for like 12 years now. And then she had her own CSR, which is now another Freedom card. My wife maybe opens a card once every couple of years. She is not comfortable with opening comfortable with opening cards at a rapid rate, and that's okay, right? Like I'm not in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form going to push her to be uncomfortable. And she says, "Hey, I trust you. I trust our finances. I do not trust. It's something about this." And I want to say this: she comes from a I only use my cash or debit card family. Credit cards are evil.
Right.
Um, and so, despite having seen travel, she says, "I will spend on them and I will give you cash." My wife will hand me a stack of cash, and I'm like, "Where did you get this?" And she's like, "Oh, I went to the bank." Right? Like, put in perspective. My wife isn't. Oh, I take that back. Has the, what is it? U.S. Bank clickety click.
Altitude Reserve.
Thank you. But that's again a card she's had for like years because her dad banked with U.S. Bank when he was in the Navy. And so like I'm not going to force her to do that.
Right.
Convincing her to open a Chase Ink card to put her tuition on for 12 months, she's like, "But that's bad. We have debt." And I was like, "No, if you do not have a business, do not open a business card. This is not me giving you advice as to what to and not to do. But hey, we opened a Chase Ink card and you're going for a terminal degree, you're doing some form of small educational fundraising consulting. So if you need somebody that can help you do a fundraising or annual giving program, hit us up." Um, but like she was uncomfortable with that, right? And that's the first card she's opened in years. The last card that she opened was that CSR that Matt gave the referral to in 2023. So like put in perspective, it's been 2 years since she's opened any card. I'm at 924. I'm not going to burn another inquiry or a spot on a card that like I don't particularly care for, right? Like we don't use United Miles. I know Lonnie loves United Miles. I have no real use case for them outside of a small flight to Denver or to Houston or San Francisco once a year. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to accrue them at a high clip. Like United Mileage X or shopping, whatever that is, it's a great program. I wish they had one for Delta. I wish they had one for AA,
Yeah.
but like it just doesn't serve my needs or purposes. So there's no use for me getting a couple of 100,000 United miles. So anything
So
that we do with United is just cash.
the only reason I ask about the credit card is just you could get bags that way and it would take the pressure off Marriott. I'm not saying you shouldn't get Marriott status. I'm just saying if you had a card that gave you the free bags and that's the reason you wanted the status, it would free that up. That was more my question.
I don't disagree. The other thing for us there is, I will say, for the international trips that we've taken, we have been treated very well. Like
Mhm.
Bankside, London, shout out to Spaceco, wonderful recommendation. Treated us fantastically. I've been in a lot of small European rooms. This is the first time I've ever been in a suite in London, and I was like, "Wow, schwanky." And I'll say even some domestic places, like for example, when we went to Indian Wells, the tennis tournament, got a pretty decent upgrade, right? Like, I like that. And I'd say for some of those flung off, far reach places, it's nice to have a Marriott, and I wish it was 34x, but still getting 23.5 or 17 and a half plus whatever you put on the other card is still really valuable because worst case scenario, they turn into Delta miles for me because I'm building up my Delta stash right now. Um, Similar to RJ, I am not using my Delta miles to get a bunch of domestic flights. I'm trying to use that's the similar part. The non-similar is when we do go international, we're planning on using international to international locations because Delta miles are actually like really powerful for that. Like
Right.
you can get a flight on Singapore for like 9,000 miles in like premium economy from Seoul to Tokyo. So like I think that's really great. Or you can go Mexico City to Tokyo, Mexico City to a lot of South America on Delta and their partners for really cheap Delta Sky miles. And I think that's a great use case for me specifically. For RJ, has nothing to do, like zero value. Best case scenario, she goes from Toronto to Dublin.
I wouldn't even go to Toronto. I'm not crossing the border to cross another border. I'd fly to Boston.
Fair enough.
Here's the thing, guys. Part of the reason I don't want to go international is I have a crippling fear of crossing borders. It just is a thing. For reasons we don't need to get on this podcast. But just it's a thing. So for me, international travel is probably several years away, if ever. So yeah. Clinton wants to know if you have enough lifetime nights for Marriott status.
Oddly enough, I have enough nights for silver. I don't have the years. I'm at 200 and I want to say 80. Let's see here.
Yeah, and you need 5 years for silver.
Yep.
Matt,
I'm of the mindset that lifetime platinum is not going to be a thing by the time I have the ability to get lifetime platinum.
Do you have years for status, Matt, or is it a nights thing?
No, I have like, this is my first full year with status. And I just bought Citizen M Plus. So I'm going to be getting Marriott Gold for the next couple of years at $170 a pop, because I don't want to get a $250 Amex card to drop down to the $95 Amex card for however many years. So I'm going to just pay $170 and just have Marriott Gold going forward. But I bought it for $120 and it goes into effect next month. So I'm going to be paying $170 a year for Marriott Gold at minimum, and then I can start building up my nights from there.
You know what also gives you Marriott Gold, Matt? The Amex Platinum card.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the business card also at 125, and you get good gas and dining multipliers.
Business card at 125 with unlimited gas and dining multipliers. It will also at 125 give me 15 nights a year holding it,
And an FNC.
and a 35K FNC. So I might do that.
To Clint's point, I'm at 295 nights with 3 years of status for silver, but only 2 years of status for platinum and above. And those 3 years are just the years I've held the platinum card.
I'm also not going to pay $895 for Marriott Gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not suggesting you do. I'm just saying, like, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like the occasionally be like, oh yeah, I have the platinum. I have that. Like, it's great. It's nice. It's a little help. I miss the green. Like, I irrationally miss the green.
Just get all the no, never mind.
I'm genuinely considering getting the green if I
Green's a
go
good
all in
card.
on Delta Portal, because it does not code as travel, or it does not code as flights for the platinum card.
I have a question. Would it be better to use your reserve for the MQDs?
That is what I will do right now.
Okay. Also, QC man, it is not going away. I just don't think that the perks will be of any value in 8 years.
Yeah, my Delta Reserve is going to get a workout next year.
It's a good card.
It is, and
Now that I look more into it,
I'm interested to see if they do a card above the reserve, what it looks like.
yes, Clint, that is correct. I'm purely speculating. I don't trust Marriott. I had a little bit more faith in Hilton, and Hilton spit in my face and slapped me. So I definitely don't trust Marriott.
I mean, the thing is, Hilton didn't change their program. They changed their point values, which is annoying.
For me,
but
that's program
slightly
change.
different.
But I understand what you're saying. Also, Rex, I've done both, but I prefer the Renaissance. That pool in there is fantastic. Also, they have a sushi bar that's like killer. Like absolutely fantastic.
Bait.
Also better parking.
You know what is going away in a lot of places that drives me crazy because I drive to a lot of hotels is free parking.
Yes.
Oh, I finally remembered the question that I wanted to ask an hour and 30 minutes ago. So one thing that I noticed, because I live in a part of the country that drives a lot, right? Like I am a Northeasterner. Matt shares that with me. Craig is a Midwesterner. Our cultures are very aligned in this, right? Oh, it's only 6 hours. I'm just going to drive that. Like,
Yep.
why do we prioritize travel by flying in terms of like, if I say I'm going to take a trip and I'm not getting on an airplane, people don't see it the same way as if I'm getting on an airplane, even if I'm going farther by car than I am by plane. Like we have prioritized air type travel to locations over driving, and I think that is wrong. If I am driving somewhere and staying in a hotel, that is a trip. I don't care that you poo-poo the fact that I drove. But that is how, like, if I mention that, I've mentioned how many nights I stay in a hotel to people, but because a lot of it is via driving, they seem to think that is somehow less travel. And it annoys me.
No, it's still travel. I mean, you do have to drive to get to the hotel. It would just be different if you were driving like 4 or 5 hours to get to that hotel instead of, less than 2. But it's absolutely a trip.
And I'm not saying everybody thinks that, but there is a segment that if you're not getting on an airplane, they view it differently.
No, I agree with you. A lot of my East Coast coworkers can't believe that I'm willing to drive, or I used to drive from Philly to Indy or Philly to Chicago probably once a month or so. And that's a 10 to 11 and a half hour ride for folks that are wondering. But I'll also say this, I love a road trip. We are driving to Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're renting a big old Yukon Denali, and we're driving everybody down. We're going to leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning, get there and get to our condo, and we're going to have a good time for the week. We did the entire state of Utah. We went to every national park. We flew into Salt Lake City and drove the entire state, which beautiful state. I can see how the pioneers said, this is the great beyond and wild wonders. But I love a road trip. People will say anything that's over 2 hours is too long of a drive. If I got sunlight and caffeine in me, I'm ready to go.
That is a trip.
LA to Indy.
Especially that day. That is a trip.
Yeah.
Oh, do you all want to feel old? My son's daycare teacher was having a conversation. He goes, yeah, I know a lot of people remember 9/11, but I wasn't really around like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, you were small. She goes, no, I wasn't born. And I was like, oh.
I think a lot of the millennial trauma can be explained by they brought televisions into the classrooms and put on the coverage of 9/11 for us. Like they brought the TVs in and like replayed the crashes.
So in Chicago, sirens just started going off, and we're all like, what's going on? Because they assumed that they were going to go and hit the Sears Tower as well. And like my mom came and picked me up, and I was like, what's happening? And she goes, it's World War III. It's finally popping off. And I was like, can we go to McDonald's?
So I live upstate New York. There used to be things in Plattsburgh.
Yep.
Big things that go boom in Plattsburgh. And we were worried that that was also going to get hit. So like upstate schools where I was were very concerned about that because of the Northway. So the Northway got heavily shut down. QC man, 5 hours is cute. I've done 12 hours on a weekend trip. You drive 12 hours. You stay for a night, you enjoy the thing you're going to, and then you turn around and drive back. I don't do 12 hours a lot. Like that would have to be for a special thing. But I've done, I will comfortably do 8 hours for a weekend trip one way. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. 8 hours. That's a weekend trip. I'll do that.
8 hours is not like I go for drives. I have an electric car, so I feel better about it. But I go for drives on the weekend all the time. But because it's quiet time. There is nobody but me and the music I am playing.
I'll say this as well. I enjoy listening to podcasts, zoning out, just talking to my wife. Sometimes we won't even have the radio on. It's a time for us to catch up because like our schedules are wicked, and so sometimes my wife will leave the house before I wake up, and I go to drop my son off, and then by the time she gets home, hey, it's already time to start getting folks down to bed. So like sometimes it's just a good little catch up,
It's good.
quality time.
Like no, like I'm upstate New York. I am still technically a New Yorker, and they legitimately brought TVs into the classrooms and had us watch.
Yep, they did that, and at the private school I was at, and then they had us depart early.
We didn't even like. I left early because I was freaked out, but most kids stayed the entire day. They didn't. As far as I know, they did not let classes out early.
Also, not helping the millennial trauma is that like every 6 weeks we have a historic thing that's never supposed to happen more than once in a lifetime, and
Yeah.
nope.
I will say it is bizarre watching because I was in middle school. It's bizarre watching old movies where people like just run through airport terminals. Like you watch like the movies that were like rom-coms in the 90s and they're just full speed running through airport terminals, and all I can think about is like the amount of tackles that would happen. You couldn't get through TSA, but if you bought the cheap like Spirit airline ticket to get through TSA, again, you gotta have pre-check or you're not getting through TSA quickly. But just the amount of tackling that would happen if somebody was full speed running like that through an airport terminal.
Not to be funny, I'm still old enough to remember that you could walk with somebody to the gate.
Yep.
Yep.
You could just like go to the airport and watch planes.
Yeah.
Like they had like
Heck.
full observation decks that you could just sit and plane watch all day. Now those are
Think
at
about the
least
guy
where I
that
am,
brought
those
a
are all
gun
closed.
and shot that guy on live TV in an airport. He was like a criminal,
Yes.
and he was pretending like he was on a payphone. He's like, "Oh yeah, hold on one second." Click, bam. He's like, "Oh my god, what?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy in question who got shot like murdered that guy's son.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, no, it's like Keith, I can't imagine the people. I know a few people who have family that were first responder. Like it's yeah, it's been what, 24 years, which now makes me feel very old.
Next year's 25.
Again, it's weird to think that people are old enough to have not been alive when that was a thing, because that's a core canon memory event for me.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, we go to Iraq. Then we have a financial collapse.
Mhm.
Obama, yay. All these other things happen. Here we are.
It's weird that it's
COVID.
not just like people alive, but like actual adults that are like married
Yeah.
and potentially have children that were alive.
Teaching other children.
Yeah, my niece and nephew are not that old. They're in their mid-teens, and like I won't say it's a joke to them, but they have no like historical context for it, right? Like when they talk about it, it's not something that like internal. Like I hear like the Alan Jackson, like where were you when the world stopped turning, and my brain like instantly like freezes. Like just because I am of the age where like that is a huge like flag in the ground moment in my childhood, right? Or my adolescence. And like for them, it's not in the same way. It's
wonder-
strange how those shared memories work.
It reminds me, or it's what I imagine people would be like after they've experienced Pearl Harbor as
Yeah.
a country. And then you say you were born in the 50s and you grew up in the 60s and 70s. Like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Well, like Kent State, like
Oh, yeah.
things like that. The way my grandmother talks about like the Kennedy assassination, because she was between kid 2 and 3. Actually, no, between 1 and 2. When that happened, so she was like a full adult, married, kids, and like when she talks about the Kennedy assassination, it is I can only contextualize it from history class, right? So it is bizarre Like even like things like the moon landing, right? Like my mom was alive when we landed on the moon. My stepdad vividly remembers it. So it's amazing how those historical things change of like, or they'll do like these people are the same age and it's like Anne Frank and somebody else and you're like, oh, like this was super recent. So yeah, it's amazing how you were born 5 years out. Oh, you don't have to call us old that loudly. Yeah, I was in history class. My history teacher was from the city. Like he was walking us through where this was happening. It is a thing.
Yeah.
5 years after 9/11, Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Yeah, my stepdad talks about that too, of just like those little things. Or like when Reagan was shot, like that for a certain generation, that is a moment, right? Like there are these moments that are, it's bizarre. It's bizarre how those, yeah.
Tired of them.
Yeah, I would like the I remember like the Lehman Brothers, like watching the news when Lehman Brothers had their collapse.
Oh yeah.
And just it's one of those things like you don't always, especially when you're a kid, right? I mean, I was old enough to vote for Obama when he became president. I think it was my first presidential election that I was old enough to vote in. And like you don't like something like that, you don't realize the weight in the moment. Even if it's something that's the first thing that happened, you know, whoever you voted for, but like a historic presidency, right? You don't realize the weight until you look back. It's interesting. I remember like there's a lot of things you remember and you can't contextualize it until later.
I just missed the cutoff for the first one, and then the second, the 2012 election was my first time voting.
Yeah, I was 19, so I was old enough.
It pissed me off because in Illinois, like I missed it by like days, where they're like, "Oh, you have to be a certain number of days to be 18," and I was like, "Come on, I'm
That's
so
silly.
sorry." Like whatever. But also, I lived in Illinois at that point. There wasn't any imagination in the universe that was going to assume that he wasn't going to win Illinois.
Challenger is another one because like that was a huge thing because they were very proud of Challenger, so it was in all of the classrooms that it could be in, and then SEALs, man, they turned it into a bomb.
Yep.
The SEALs, kid, if your face is confused, the SEALs weren't properly tempered.
Oh no! I know what Challenger is. I was
Okay.
You mentioned Lehman Brothers, and I went to like see what was their market cap at that time. 60
It
billion.
was 100. No, it was 60 billion. I thought there was like hundreds of billions, but
60 billion is still a lot.
No. 60. There. Oh, I'm sorry. It dropped 60 billion in a day. They had 639 billion in assets. 619 billion was debt. So in one day, they dropped almost $60 billion of market share. And then the following day is when everything collapsed. The market went down all the way to 20.83 million.
Wow. No, Craig, I thought you did know what Challenger was. I didn't know if you knew why it went boom.
Oh, yeah. So oddly enough, the first female Black astronaut was a alum of my high school. So, well, excuse me, grade school. And so we had to learn all about that. And that's one of the things that they taught us during our little advanced science course, where they're like, and here's what happened to the Challenger. And I was like, looking back on it now, the fact that you showed that footage to like fifth graders feels inappropriate.
Oh yeah, like the things that they used to just show us. Also, the year of Bill Buckner. It was 1986.
I know.
I hear 1986 and I have like that Pavlovian response. I was not born in 1986, but I hear it and it's ingrained.
I didn't get to see it, so I don't care.
They won again though, didn't they? The Mets?
No.
They haven't won since 86, really?
Yes.
Huh. I thought they stole one in the 2000s.
No, they went to the 2000 Subway Series. They lost to the Yankees in 5 games. They didn't go back to the World Series until 2015, and they lost to the Royals in 5 games.
I was thinking of 2015. Okay.
Yeah. They would have won the 2006 World Series if not for the Cardinals, and they probably could have won the 2007 and 2008 World Series if they hadn't, choked away the division lead in the last days of the season. So
2007, they weren't going to win. That was the Red Sox year. We still had our mostly band of lovable idiots at that point.
I'm a Sox fan.
I'm so sorry.
You got 2005. You're fine.
Have you seen them this year?
Yeah, they're intentionally bad. They're trying to get Rob Chalowski.
They're just bad.
No.
Is it intentionally bad if you just suck?
The Rockies are just bad.
Fair enough.
The White Sox are intentionally bad. You don't trade away Garrett Crochet if you're not trying.
Maybe they're pulling a Jerry Jones.
They won today, though.
There's that.
We have not even jumped the tracks. We have built new tracks to jump on.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Being millennial sucks.
Yankees.
What was that?
Said we're about to play the Yankees.
Yeah. So being a millennial sucks.
It is not ideal.
No.
I do love that our podcast is regularly hosted by a group of millennials, which might prove that we are one of the more jaded generations.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
It's
you're
between us and the silent
jaded
generation.
regardless of your generation, Matt.
I don't know about regardless of my generation. Being a millennial has horrified my worldview.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us for the 2.5 hours.
Yep. As always, you can check us out at stackyourpoints.com. That jumps to the website. That jumps to the Discord, and you can check out Lonnie's channel. You can check out my channel, memberships, Craig's impending channel. We're always doing stuff. What?
I said I'll have a channel again at some point. It might just be me screaming. Like
Maybe.
just pointing at cards and screaming.
But possibly. We got to get Bridge Mentor out this week. I'm like halfway through recording.
You got days. You're fine.
Yeah. So new Bridge Mentor on Monday, new podcast dropping. We've got questions dropping tomorrow. We've got the mini mailbag and the topic spotlights on Monday and Tuesday. And we'll have a new edition of Stack Your Points dropping on next Wednesday. So thanks so much, guys. And we will probably have Amex stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We didn't talk about Mesa.
Oh God. Yeah, no. Mesa.
I knew we were forgetting something.
This just feels like an MLM. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on with this. So Mesa has a new welcome offer. It's 50,000 points, and up to 60,000 points. You have to refer 2 friends before you get the card, and then spend $10,000 in 3 months to get 60,000 points from Mesa. Like, are they not hitting their sign-up numbers? Are they, not? I don't understand what's happening there. This is just weird. I've never seen a company do something like this.
Yeah, it feels like they're not getting the love that they thought they were going to. Like they thought they were going to build it and they did not, which makes sense because like people care about transfer partners and theirs are not marquee. Like I think Wells Fargo has much better transfer partners than they do, and Wells Fargo transfer partners are as they are.
Panned for silly reasons. Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing with this. 60,000 points, you have to refer two people and then spend 10,000. There was like Danny the Duke was like seemingly confused because he was seeing like another option where it was just refer two people, get 50,000 points. Yes, congrats to Kevin's parents for their wedding anniversary. 20 years. Congrats. So yeah, I don't. I something is wrong at Mesa apparently. Like, if they've got money to burn, just do a bigger welcome offer.
I think they're not getting the swipe fees that they thought they were going to.
They're pushing like you got to push $1,000 at least. Like if there's somebody who's just spending $1,000 a month on the card and getting back like a $12,000 mortgage, 12,000 point mortgage, sure, but I don't know. Like they're partnered with a relatively small bank. It's not like are they costing Celtic like tens of millions of dollars a month with what they're doing? Like they built it properly. They did what they needed to, like they did the thing that you should have done. Yeah, I don't understand what happened there. What's happening there at all. Like it feels pyramid-y, as you guys said.
It felt too good to be true from the beginning between the spending categories, the bonus, everything.
They added daycare too. So like they added a category and they were limiting the big box stores to just Costco at one point.
Speaking of daycare, I'm so pissed they stopped accepting credit card at my daycare and I'm not getting any points.
They stopped accepting credit cards?
They moved over to a new point of a sale system, and the owner, I know for a fact this system can take credit cards. I've looked it up. She is dragging her feet on it, and I was like, lady, please let me get points.
She doesn't want to pay the fee. Just go through Melio.
Well, no, they put the fee back on us anyway. I told her, I said, hey, I'm willing to pay the 3%.
Oh, you're going to pay the 3% either way. You're just not going to get your points for it.
Yeah.
Melio, is that an option for you? Plastique?
I'll have to check. I'm not sure.
Worth investigating.
Because right now it just hits my account every week, and I was like, ugh, this is trash.
Trash. Anyway, yeah, with that, guys, sorry, we did want to track back over to Mesa. It does feel pyramid schemey. I'm kind of asking what the hell's going on over at Mesa. I don't know if you're not getting, you know what it could be?
What?
Mortgage bubble.
Potentially.
Because that's about to burst.
I hope not.
Oh boy.
Well, stagflation and rate cuts and unnecessary rate cuts.
Great Recession 2, Electric Boogaloo.
We'll be lucky if it's Great Recession 2. It's going to get bad, guys.
This took a turn quick.
But get your free money when the rates get cut.
I will probably try to do a refinance on my mortgage.
Oh, I'll be refinancing some personal loans at that point. Yep, as Clinton says, say goodnight, Matt. All right, guys. Have a good night. We will talk to you next week. Enjoy. We will hopefully be in better spirits. I doubt it. At least for me. Anyway, see y'all.
Bye, guys.